Getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind Your Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind Your Basketball. And what's good, everyone? Welcome in. Happy Saturday night, everybody, and glad to have you guys back in the stream here. An Elite 8 matchup going down in under 8 minutes from now. The Clemson Tigers making a run to the Elite 8 in the tournament. The number 6 seed taking on the number 4 seed, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Both of these teams with identical records at 24-11 this season. We get a good one in store. If you guys are doing a stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. Expect a lot of points for this matchup here. 162.5 for the over-under. Alabama comes into the game as a 3.5-point favorite. And both of these teams met up against each other back in November, right after Thanksgiving, November 28th. And Clemson won that game. It was at Alabama, 85-77. But Alabama, they've been playing much, much better in this tournament. Their offense is the number 1 offense in points per game this season, but their defense has been able to be miles better than what it was throughout the regular season. Clemson, though, they're right now top 5 in adjusted defensive efficiency in this tournament. They have also just turned things around completely with their defense, and both of these teams are searching for their first ever Final Four appearance in program history. What's good? We got Vegas, Daniel, Hockey from Home, Dale, Mario. Glad to hear that you're better, man. Jen, welcome back to the stream, everybody, tonight for this matchup. And the winner of this game will take on UConn in the Final Four. UConn smashed Illinois in the last game. Final score is 77-52. Dalvin Klingon had a double-double, 22 points, 10 rebounds. Yeah, so I'm here in a 30-0 run because I wasn't able to cover the first game. I was out. I was finishing up my work, writing the lacrosse stories after the game that I broadcasted today. And when I wrapped up around 7:30, I was walking out to the parking lot checking the score of UConn in Illinois, and it was UConn was up by single digits with like 17 minutes left to go in the second half. I think it was like 32-23 or something like that. And then I get home like 15-20 minutes later, and it's UConn 59, Illinois 26. Like, what in the world? Crazy. 30-0 run by UConn, just incredibly dominant. It was a 49-29 second half advantage in favor of UConn, and man, just insane. Like, the Huskies, I don't know who can touch them. They're just super dominant. Felix, welcome back in. Yeah, that was a rough night. I all my predictions for the games as well, I went 0 for 4 yesterday. Really, really rough night. What a crusher for Houston. Jamal Shed goes down, and after that, they just struggle to generate any sort of points. They lost by just 3 last night, but that was just a crusher right there. Yup, Vegas all the way back at the start of the year. He said on this channel, I'm thinking that they're going back-to-back, and looks very, very, very likely right now. I don't know who's touching UConn. After that Xavier game that UConn smashed Xavier at the beginning of conference play, yeah, we get a feeling that they were going to go back-to-back, and it looks incredibly likely right now. Hey, Lucas, welcome back in. Bryce, welcome on the stream. That's awesome. You did UConn against Illinois right there for a stream. Good for you, man. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this one here, Clemson or Alabama. What a run by Clemson in this tournament. A lot of people, including myself, had New Mexico in the first round over Clemson. That was not close. Clemson beat New Mexico by 21, 77-56. And then the other two teams that they played just certainly can't be trusted. Baylor, when they had the national championship run in 2021, I mean, that's their national championship run that they had, but all the other seasons around that, they've really struggled to make deep postseason runs besides the national championship year for Baylor. And Clemson upset Baylor in the round of 32, 72-64, and then they took down Arizona 77-72. And both of those teams certainly suspect. This entire West Los Angeles region, when the brackets were released, you could tell this region was just out to be just kind of up for fair game in the region, and we were all trying to see who was going to come out of the region. And these two teams have advanced. North Carolina went down, Arizona went down, Baylor went down, 1, 2, 3 in order. Alabama making it to the Elite 8 out of this region with Clemson. Yeah, both of those guys playing really, really good. PJ Hall, leader of this team in the front court. They got a couple good, talented front court guys in this team for Clemson. Hall's putting up over 18 points per game, number 4 to ACC in scoring. And this is incredible experience that they have looking down the lineup. Chase Hunter has started. This will be his 90th start of his collegiate career tonight for Chase Hunter for Clemson. 65th start for Ian Shefflin tonight for Clemson. Jack Clark making his 77th start of his career. And then Joe Girard, he's been playing college basketball for ages. Number 4 in the nation in free throw shooting. This is his 159th start. He played in the NCAA tournament with Buddy Boeheim in Syracuse back in 2021. They made a run to the Sweet 16 for Syracuse that year. And Joe Girard, if they make it to the Final Four, that will be a start number 160 in his collegiate career for a fifth-year senior with Joe Girard. And then P.J. Hall, 92nd start of his collegiate career. Just a ton of experience in this Clemson squad. Clemson actually beat Alabama on the road at Alabama back on November 28th, 85-77. This Alabama team's come miles to where they've been this season. Mark Sears, one of the top scorers in the nation, putting up 21 points per game. Grant Nelson was incredible in the victory over North Carolina. It took him a little bit to get going, but once he was able to find a rhythm, UNC was completely just baited into playing Alabama's game. UNC did not play their game on Thursday night, and they fed right into Alabama's game of push the basketball, get to the rim, jack up threes, and Alabama beat UNC in the game. And because North Carolina wanted to play a similar style instead of slowing it down against Alabama. Here's the starters tonight: Mark Sears, Aaron Estrada, Rylan Griffin, Nick Pringle, Grant Nelson for Alabama going up against Chase Hunter, Joe Girard, Jack Clark, Ian Shefflin, and P.J. Hall. That's 2 grad students and 2 seniors and a junior inside the starting 5 for Clemson, and then a grad student, 3 seniors, and a sophomore for Alabama inside the starting 5. Dale Verdon, welcome back to the stream, everybody. CF, big win for your Huskies, man, today. And here we go, about to tip off in just a moment. Type in the chat who guys like to win here, Alabama or Clemson. The 2 football schools battling it out for a spot to take on UConn in the Final Four. Both of these teams have really turned it on much better defensively than how their seasons went. Alabama this season ranks in the bottom 10 in the country in defense, allowing 81 points per game, and they really started to dedicate to the defensive side of the ball starting in this tournament. And same thing with Clemson. Clemson top 5 in defensive efficiency in this tournament for them. They're allowing opponents to average just over 70 points per game. They're a top 80 offense. If this game is close, you can make a case for both of these teams. Alabama goes on a late run for them. Last 5 minutes, they play their best basketball, start to drill threes for Alabama. For Clemson, they're really, really good at the free throw line. So if this is a close game, it can tell either way. Whereas the last game, we knew if it was a close game that UNC was going to lose that one because Alabama is just so good in the final stretch of the matchup. We are underway. Clemson left to right in the floor as the Tigers control the opening tip. Orange jerseys for Clemson, white numbers, white letters. Alabama goes with the white uniforms, red numbers, red letters. The Crimson Tide in this matchup. Clemson looks to back their way inside. Hook shot down low. It's P.J. Hall. He scores for 2. Right hand turnaround. Hook shot for Hall, averaging 18 points per game this season. Top 5 in the ACC in scoring. Alabama top of the key. Nick Pringle towards his right around the perimeter, puts the ball into the hands of Estrada, laces up a 3, bricked off the back rim. Clemson comes out with a defensive rebound. Chase Hunter up the floor, crossing midcourt, possession number 2 here for Clemson. Top of the key with Ian Shefflin, up fake Gerard, wide open 3, takes it off the front rim, no good. A rebound secured here for Alabama. Alex, welcome back in, thanks for joining. And then we got Derby back in the stream, welcome back on board again. Top of the key, second possession for Alabama. Rylan Griffin, he was huge from the perimeter in the win over North Carolina on Thursday. Baseline dribble underneath and no good. Missed off the mark by Estrada. Got tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Alabama here. Brad Brownell, 6-3 in the NCAA tournament at Clemson. First ever Elite 8 appearance as head coach, and he was on the hot seat this year. Last year, they played one of the easiest schedules in the nation. They were the first team out of the bracket in 2023. Bounced back this year, made it in as a 6 seed. A lot of people debated whether they would be a 7 seed, but big time in this tournament. Bounce pass off the roll down, throwing it down with a 2, and it flushed to Ian Shefflin. 4-2 now for Clemson. First minute and a half of action. Their front court guys have been solid this season. Sears, his pass floated down low. Nelson, and that will be an offensive foul. Grant Nelson bulldozes over a Tiger down the lane. It will go back to Clemson. Pringle, welcome back in. Best of luck there tonight. He's taking Clemson +4 on the line. Clemson looking good so far. Great start for the Tigers here. 2 for 3 from the floor. Alabama 0 for 2 in a turnover. Clemson with possession. Ian Shefflin just scored the last bucket. Backs his way inside the low post, guarded by Grant Nelson. Puts it up over Nelson. Gutted the drop, good for 2. And Alabama's, their defense this year has been really struggling inside the interior. Got to get something here if they're the Crimson Tide. Sears off to Estrada. Outside top of the key. Sears takes the 3. Off the back rim, no good. A rebound secured by Clark. What a start for Clemson here. 6-zip Gerard on top. Shefflin. Bounce pass off to the cutter. Backdoor. Hunter up fake. Guarded by Estrada. Moves it outside. P.J. Hall at the top. Hall towards his right around the perimeter. Hand off Gerard. Step back jumper. Deep 2. No good off the rim. He's 0 for 2. Rebound controlled by Nelson for Alabama. Under 17 and a half left to go. Estrada outside Nelson. Crossover. Dribbles up inside the key. Estrada at the wing. No look. Pass left corner. Open 3. Rylan Griffin couldn't cover. Putbacks there. And that is good. Plus the foul. That is Grant Nelson who gets the putback. And he was fouled as well going up on the shot. He'll shoot 1 coming up at the free throw line. Big offensive rebound there. And yeah, Clemson just wasn't able to box out properly. Free throw is good by Nelson. That was Jack Clark who picked up the first personal foul for Clemson. That's a big, big swing right now in this game. 6-3 now to score. Clemson with a possession. Chase Hunter. Bounce pass over to Hall, top of the free throw circle. Hall hands it off. Jack Clark back into the hands to Hall. Now off to Gerard. Outside Hall. Going to pop up, shoot the 3. Off the back heel, no good. A rebound secured by Alabama. Up the floor here. In the first 4 minutes, Alabama takes the 3. They tie it up. Money from the perimeter by Rylan Griffin, splashing down the triple. 6-6 now, 6-zip run just like that for the Roll Tide. Clemson yet to make a 3, 0 for 2 from the perimeter. Alabama's 1 for 4. Gerard Yet to make a shot so far. 0 for 2 shooting. Top of the key, sends it off to Hall. Hall bounce pass goes into the hands of Shefflin. 10 in the shot clock here. Shefflin guarded by Nelson 101. Shefflin backs his way. Floats it up and Shefflin gets fouled. That's on Nelson once again. That's a quick second personal foul. Picked up charge to Grant Nelson tonight. Hey, Christian, welcome in. Oh, wow, I did not see that. I was out for most of the day. I saw that Chris Mack is heading over to Charleston, whereas Pat Kelsey is now the new head coach for Louisville there. So basically, like, trading coaches. Except Mack was out of the game for the last couple of years, didn't coach. First one here at the line is good by Shefflin. Second free throw is good. It's a really solid Clemson unit when it comes down to making free throws. That's their specialty this season. Clemson is 9th in the country, shooting just under 79% at the free throw line. Sears receives the pass. Sears looking to get on the board. Turns the corner, weaves his way. Bounce pass for Estrada at the left baseline. Estrada dribbles up inside the key off the spin move. Up fake. Swings it out to the wing. Here's a three by Alabama. Missed off the back rim, no good. Jaron Stevenson, offensive rebound over to Estrada. Sears with a three, missed off the mark. Tipped around, battle for the rebound. Estrada comes down with it at the baseline. Estrada, baseline dribble, shovel underneath. They try to go up and they get fouled. And this will be Nick Pringle now shooting 2 for Alabama. We will take the first media timeout in the game now, coming up before free throws. 15:42 left to go in the first. 2-point lead for Clemson right now to the first media break tonight. Yeah, good start to this one so far. Alabama on a 6-2 run. Clemson opened up the game leading 6-0. Andrew, welcome in, man. Yeah, things going pretty well. Busy day for me. I had a lacrosse game that I did a broadcast for, and then after the game I wrote 2 post-game articles that I did. The team didn't do so well. They faced a ranked top 20 opponent, which they got crushed against 20-6 today. The other team that they faced was on like another level. Yeah, the team that I announced for, it's only a 4-year school that I work for the college, so they don't have like a graduate program there. It's all undergrad. But the team that they faced had 9 transfers, and 4 of those transfers were D1. It's a D3 program. They have 4 transfers from D1 on a D3 program, plus 5 others from other teams around D3, and they had 6 grad students on that team, whereas like most of the team that I announced for, the home team had like 40% first year players. I'm taking Alabama tonight in this one. Just they've been able to turn it on recently in this tournament here. I think they have an opportunity tonight to see if they can get revenge on Clemson. Clemson beat them the first time 85-77. Some of these guys for Alabama were transfers coming into the season. These guys have played a long time together for Clemson. Joe Girardo, he transferred in from Syracuse for him in the offseason. Played 4 years at Syracuse, finishing up playing at Clemson for his final season. But Grant Nelson came in via the transfer portal. Took a while for Alabama with the transfers to gel, because they basically had like a new starting 5 this year for their team. Winner of this one will take on UConn next Saturday in the Final Four. I'll be back tomorrow for the doubleheader. Tomorrow, Purdue versus Tennessee. That's the first game at 2:20 tomorrow on Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. And NC State against Duke. ACC rivalry. Just past 5 o'clock on the East Coast tomorrow for the second game. That'll tip off around 5:05 tomorrow. So this will be free throws here at the line. for Alabama. First one's no good. Missed off the mark by Pringle. I really like the Pat Kelsey Louisville hire right there. Yeah, Darian DeVries going to West Virginia. That's a good one. And also, like, we'll see if DePaul starts to become a little bit more relevant for them in the future. They hired a Chris Holtmann of Ohio State. So, I don't think there's going to be any layup teams anymore in the Big East. Big East should be really competitive since Holtmann is now there for DePaul now. They've always had issues with head coaches. They've been going through this head coaching cycle for a long time for DePaul. Like, multiple head coaches within, like, the last, 5-6 years that they've had. Hey, Jimmy on the stream. Welcome in. Glad to have you back in. Alabama broke up the shot down low. Clemson is going to get the inbound here at the baseline. The inbound goes to Chauncey Wiggins. First time on the floor. Elevates for the J. Missed it poorly. Hit the bottom right part of the glass as Alabama comes out with a defensive rebound up the floor here for the Crimson Tide. Estrada floats it off the roll down. Nick Pringle catches it. Off the rim, no good in the first attempt and couldn't come up with a rebound. Hunter has it up the floor here for Clemson. Hunter's defended by Estrada at the left wing off the Hall. P.J. Hall bounce pass goes to Shefflin. Shefflin out to the corner. Here's a three. Hunter, no good. Bricked off the back room. Tipped up, and Estrada collects the defensive rebound. Jeffrey, welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. Hope your Saturday's going well. Sears looking to pass it off. 20 in the shot clock. He hands it off around the perimeter off to Estrada. Estrada towards his right at the top. Passes off the roll down. Stevenson underneath these scores. Up and in off the glass. Good for two. Alabama takes the lead. 9-8 now. First lead of the game for Alabama. Estrada records the assist. Clemson with the ball. Top of the key. Shefflin. Lob over to Hall at the low block. Hall backs his way in. Estrada brings along a double team as the first year Sam Walters comes in too. Baseline jumper. Hall delivers. That's a tough shot off the turnaround by PJ. A lot of experience here in this Clemson squad. Multiple started games between a lot of guys in the team. Missed opportunity right there. Stevenson just off balance inside the key. Couldn't convert. Hit the glass too strong. Clemson with the ball. Under 14 minutes left to go in the first year for Clemson. Hand off to Chauncey Wiggins. Wiggins at the right wing. Sends it on top. Hall. Entry pass down low. Shefflin tips it up. Able to corral it. Shefflin underneath the hoop. Scores. Pass to defenders. Up and in off the glass. 12-9 Clemson now. Ian Shefflin, excellent start for him, up to 8 points. Perfect, 3 for 3. I mean, Alabama, I'm kind of shocked that they didn't have that one defensively. Playing tougher against Shefflin. Wide open off the roll down. Mark Sears, credit for the assist there. That is a basket off the two-handed flush by Stevenson with a dunk. 12-11. Just above 13 minutes left to go in the first. Entry pass again to Shefflin. Shefflin underneath. That time, Alabama is able to force the miss. So much better defensively there. Able to force Shefflin off in an angle towards the glass as it goes back to Alabama. Baseline dribble. Estrada kick out to the corner. Here's a handoff to Sears. Elevates for the three. Bounced off the rim, no good. Chopped off the glass, and Clemson collects the rebound out of the pack with Hunter. And we have a loose ball foul picked up out on the break here. It's going to stop the clock with 12:49. That's going to be on to Alabama. Third personal foul picked up by the Crimson Tide tonight. 2 by Clemson so far. Clemson gets the inbounds. They back their way to the mid-block. R.J. Godfrey got it blocked out of bounds. It gets swatted away by Mohamed Waggy. Hey, what's good, J.D. on the stream? Welcome back in, man. Yeah, really good coaching hires lately in this offseason. Another inbound for Clemson. Hall elevates for the three from the parking lot. Missed the 30-footer. Goes back to Alabama for the defensive board. Up the floor, Sears. Outside, moves it off to the right wing. Alabama's going to slow it down now. 18 on the shot clock for the Crimson Tide. Here's a deep range three. Off the rim, no good. Tipped off the glass. Muhammad Wagway keeps it alive. Loose ball into hardwood. We get a foul here. Charged on the floor. It's going to be picked up. Charged to Alabama. Muhammad Diabate on the loose ball. Yeah, they gave Diabate the foul there on the loose ball. So Clemson comes back with a basketball by 1 for the Tigers. 12-11, first 12 minutes of action as we got remaining here in the first half. Down low to the low block as they back their way inside. They put up the shot and one. RJ Godfrey got it a go, and he'll shoot one coming up at the free throw line for Clemson. They got a lot of talented bigs on this team. That's just a strong bucket there. Number 10, RJ Godfrey. He is one of them. 6'7" from Sewanee, Georgia. Just scored the last basket. Yeah, looks real likely. UConn just looks like an absolute freight train. Grand Reaper in the stream. Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. If you guys are doing a stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams as well. Welcome back in, Brian. Any college team, I know UConn's just so dominant at the college level, but any college team's gonna lose against an NBA team. I mean, those are paid professionals. It doesn't matter who's on that NBA squad. I know people are saying like that UConn could go out and they could beat the Pistons and stuff, but I mean, this is against like millionaires in the NBA still. Like that's still going to be tough to do. But at the collegiate level here, the top notch for college basketball, UConn's at the top of the mountain. Yep. That's what it's looking like right now. Joe, welcome back in. It's looking like Edie versus Kling Kong in the national championship. Both of those teams on the collision course against one another. Yeah, I was I saw yesterday, just amazed by how Purdue came out in the second half and crushed Gonzaga. If Purdue can put UConn into foul trouble, then Purdue can make a case there. That's the case that they have to make, because Edie, I mean, it's just so tough to defend Edie. Like, all the other teams haven't found any answers to stop Edie. So it looks like UConn and Purdue are on a collision course against one another right now. Yeah, Mikey's bracket looking sweet there. UConn and Purdue in the national championship. UConn's only got 3 losses this season. Their first road game back in December, they lost by 4 to a Kansas team at full strength. Kansas was the preseason number 1 team. They had everybody available in early December for that game. It was 69-65 Kansas at Fog Allen. Second loss was early on in conference play. UConn lost to Seton Hall by 15. I believe it was 75-60. And Klingon only played 14 minutes in that game. He got injured against Seton Hall. And then the third game was their longest road trip game. It was at Creighton, which they lost by 19 in early February. So those are the only 3 losses that they've had this year for UConn. Free throw is good at the line for Clemson to convert on the 3-point play. And then Alabama just turned it over quick up the floor. Bad pass by Nick Pringle off the mark. So Clemson up by 4 will have the basketball. Clemson is yet to turn over the basketball so far tonight. Yes, they do. UConn fears the Maryland Terrapins. What happened with James Bouknight like 3 years ago in the tournament? He got shut down, but that was 3 years ago. The actual recruiting classes under Hurley look so good right now. Like he had barely been at UConn during that time, so he hadn't even had like a full recruiting class by that time for him. PJ Hall missed the mark behind the back. That was out of bounds. So this goes right back over to Alabama. Looking for an answer here. Handoff. Sears spots up. Open three. No good. Put back. It is there. Pringle gets the two. 15-13 now. So we're down to 11 minutes left to play in the first. Clemson at the top with Chase Hunter. Towards his right around the perimeter. Bounce pass goes to the mid-block off to P.J. Hall. Backs his way. Powers his way down low. No good. Floated up over the rim as Alabama with a good defensive possession right there. Sears has it at the top of the key. He's defended by Hall. Dribbles, drives on the Hall. Downhill to the rim. No good. Couldn't convert on the layup. Tough game so far for Sears right now in this one. He's got no points. 0 for 5 shooting. Hunter at the top for Clemson. Bounce pass. Moves it down low off to number 10, R.J. Godfrey. And again, he powers his way to the bucket. Got the basket and one at the free throw line for Godfrey. So this will be an and one coming up by Clemson right now at the free throw line. And it's good. 18-13, majority of their points been scored inside the low post in this game. Clemson's yet to even make a 3, 0 for 4 from the floor right now from 3. Estrada has it here at the top, moves it off to Sears. Sears yet to get going so far, missing all 5 field goal attempts from the floor. Sears crossover outside to the top. Estrada down to 10 in the shot clock. Drives downhill to the rim. No good. Missed it. It was altered. Had a defender left towards his side, and Clemson here is up by 5. Opportunity here for Clemson. Largest lead of the game currently for the Tigers, looking to build upon it. Hall at the top, bounce pass down low. They got it stripped out of bounds, and it went off Alabama. It's going to stay Clemson ball, 9:46 left to play. Inbound for Clemson, P.J. Hall, right elbow. Handoff, Joe Girard swings it out to the wing. Hunter dribbles, drives, pro hop inside, floats to the runner, able to rattle it in. It's good for 2. 7-point lead for Clemson, largest lead of the game so far. 9.5 left to go in the first. Sears drives, attacks the rim, no good, missed another shot. Pringle came up with a rebound. We have a foul committed on the floor, charged to Clemson. And that's going to be on P.J. Hall. That's now Hall's first personal foul of the night right now. 3rd as a team for Clemson, 5 by Alabama. Yeah, both of them are pretty good. I think both of those broadcasters are really good. Clemson with a steal, going to take it a distance. They do, and one. Coming up in the free throw line for Chase Hunter. 22-13. Not a good sign for Alabama. On the other side, number 3 is down right now for Alabama. Rylan Griffin, he's in some pain. Let's see here. Sears going up, moved it out, and then got intercepted by Hunter. And Hunter took it the distance with a layup, and he got clipped from behind. Let's see. Rylan Griffin stumbled in the back end of that play. And now he's up, so he's okay right now. So Rylan Griffin, he was down, but able to get back up on his feet. So good to see right there. This will be a free throw coming up here for Clemson, too. 22-19 with 9:17 left to play. Yeah, I haven't taken a look at the recruiting classes and stuff, but, wow, so Alabama has, like a player around, like, 7 feet tall coming next year. That's awesome. Chase Hunter coming off an 18.7 rebound, 5 assist game in the victory over Arizona in the Sweet 16. He'll shoot one at the free throw line. The free throw is good. (23-13) right now. 8-zip run last minute, 20 for Clemson. Away from the ball, we get a whistle here. Foul picked up, charge to Clemson. That's their fourth. Yeah, Mark Sears having a tough game so far in this one, Bryce. Yet to finish at the rim. He's got nothing so far. Hey, what's good, Charlize? Welcome back in. RJ Godfrey just picked up his second personal foul, so he heads towards the bench right now. 10-point lead for Clemson. Alabama gets the inbound. Sears, jab step at the right corner. Sears, baseline dribble. Sears weaves his way. Skip pass, left corner. Stevenson, that is well offline as he missed the three. Well over the rim as he airballs it by a mile. Just 2 points by Alabama in the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds. This is unheard of for an Alabama team that's averaging around 91 points per game this season. Clemson, their defense ranking around the 130s in points allowed, but they have been a top 5 defense and defensive efficiency in this tournament. Missed a jumper in the 18-footer by Shefflin. Sears attacks downhill to the rim, kick out corner. Open three, Alabama. Oh, they brick another one off the back rim by Estrada, but away from the basketball. Clemson picks up a loose ball foul. That's now number 5 charged to Clemson for fouls. And Alabama's got 7. It's been Brick City so far. Clemson's defense really playing Alabama tough. They are limiting Alabama to shoot 5 for 24 from the floor, just 1 for 11 from three-point range. These guys are off time with their shots right now. Alabama gets the inbound. Nelson, handoff, top of the key. Estrada takes the three, hit the rim short. Shefflin controls the defensive rebounds. Clemson up the floor, 10-point advantage. Gerard bounce past Shefflin at the top, swings it outside left corner. Number 2, Dylan Hunter puts the ball back into the hands of Shefflin. We're approaching the 8-minute mark left to go. Gerard dribbles towards his left. Bounce pass down to the low block. Chauncey Wiggins swings it outside. Jack Clark. Shot clock's down to 8. Moves it off to Gerard. Drive, kick, corner 3. And they splash it. It is good by Jack Clark from downtown for Clemson. 26-13. Clemson is doubling up Alabama. Alabama right now is 1 for 12 from three-point range. Sears on the outside gives it off to Estrada. Clemson on an 11-zip run last 3 minutes. Inside Estrada, off fake over Shefflin. Got it to go. Good for 2. The tough take right there. Able to score that bucket inside the low post. Big Rap, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. 11-point game. Clemson's going to slow down the basketball right now. The Tigers playing their style. Joe Girard, edge of the midcourt logo. Dribbles up now to the right elbow. Kick out right corner. Chauncey Wiggins dribbles up. Free throw circle. Took the jumper. Missed off the rim. A rebound secure for Alabama. Alabama down by 11. 7 minutes left to go before halftime. Estrada crossover at the key. Moves it outside. Here's the first year taking a 3. Bricked off the rim. Missed off the mark by Sam Walters. And again, Clemson's going to slow it down. Rough game from 3 for Alabama. Live by the 3, die by the 3, and it is hurting them right now. Just 1 for 13 from the perimeter. Top of the key, Clemson. Handoff goes to Jack Clark. Sends it outside to Gerard. They've never made it to the Final Four. This is their first Elite 8 appearance since 1980. Missed 3 off the back from Clark. Estrada comes out with a defensive rebound. Up the floor goes to Sears. Sears yet to score. He dribbles up to the wing. Sears circles around. Sears, 20 in the shot clock, crossover outside Estrada, kick out corner, Stevenson with a 3, and he hits it. Last time he missed one poorly, this time he's able to rattle in a 3-ball. 26-18, approaching 6 minutes left to go before halftime. Jaron Stevenson up to 7, and now Clemson burns a timeout. 6:05 remaining. The first quarter of action right now. Clemson looking solid. That's a major 3 by Jaron Stevenson to give his team a 5-zip run. If you're new in the channel, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams. I cover basketball action on the channel, play-by-play, college hoops, NBA, so keep on coming back for more streams. I'll be back tomorrow covering both of the games in the doubleheader. Purdue taking on Tennessee tomorrow at 2:20 p.m., followed up by NC State versus Duke at 5:05 p.m. So if you want to stay in the know throughout the college hoop season, make sure to join these streams on my channel, Behind New York Basketball. Alabama's top scorers coming off the bench. That is Jaren Stevenson with 7. Mark Sears still got nothing on the board so far. 0 points, 0 for 7 shooting, 0 for 4 from three-point range. And Mark Sears has carried the team this year, averaging 21 points per game. For Clemson, it's been a balanced attack. 5 different scores, 4 starters plus 1 from the bench. 8 points by Ian Shefflin. 6 points off the bench by R.J. Godfrey. 5 by Chase Hunter. And then 4 by P.J. Hall. 3 by Jack Clark. Yeah, thanks so much, JD. Appreciate it, man, for finding my stream. Hey, welcome in. He's taking Clemson. Let us know out in the chat who you guys like to win this one, Alabama or Clemson. Right now, Alabama's leading the poll 67-33. Make sure to vote in the poll if you haven't already done so. Winner of this game is going to take on UConn in the Final Four. UConn with a huge win today, smashing Illinois 77-52. Hey, what's good? Ward on the stream, welcome on board. Kevin on the channel, welcome in. Randy taking the roll tide here for Alabama. Welcome to the stream, man. Roger, welcome in. He's going Clemson. So here we go. I'm going to get back to action here in just a moment. What a start for Clemson right now in this game. They led. They were doubling up Alabama 26-13. Alabama's gone on a 5-zip run, but Mark Sears, he's got to get going if Alabama wants any sort of comeback in this one. Mark Sears has been limited to 0 right now. 0 for 7 from the floor. It's been Brick City from 3. 2 for 14 right now from three-point range. Clemson gets the inbound as we come back from the timeout. Top of the key, Shefflin. Clemson's only made 1 3, but they have torched Alabama so far to low post. Missed 3 off the catch there by Hall. Goes back to Alabama. Alabama skip pass left corner. Here's a 3. Rainbow. It's through the netting. That is good for the triple by Estrada. 26-21 now. Part of an 8-zip run for Alabama. Last 2 minutes. Clemson with a possession. Shefflin moves it off the screen off to Girard. Top of the key, decided not to take the 3. He was open though straight away. Girard has it once again. Pick set by Shefflin. Girard dribbles towards his right. Gives it out to the top to Hall. Bounce pass down low. Shefflin off the pivot. Shefflin works his way for Stevenson. Missed off the mark. No good. Battle for the rebound. Bodies collide underneath. And this will be Alabama basketball. Shefflin couldn't corral the basketball at the baseline as he missed the first shot, went off the glass. Strong defense right there by Jaren Stevenson. It will go back to Alabama. 5:13 left to go as we take the media timeout on the floor. And Alabama getting on an 8-zip run in the last 2 minutes plus. Alabama creeping their way right back into this game right now. And still without Sears able to score. If he gets going, the tides can certainly turn into this one. Alabama's always been like slow starters. Like I've seen them trail by like 12, 15 points and then they come back and they do like a 25, 30 point swing and they trail by like 12, 15 points. They come back and they win by like 10, 12, 15 points. So we still got a while left to go in this game right now. And Grant Nelson picked up 2 quick fouls, so he's been in a little bit of foul trouble early on in this game. Everybody else has 1 or 0 tonight so far. Yeah, North Carolina had a terribly executed final minute. That was That was just a head coaching disgrace right there by Hubert Davis and UNC. They got baited into playing Alabama style. Like, they fed in and played into Alabama style the entire game. Like, that's not North Carolina. They needed to pound the ball down low with Baycott, and they went away from that, and they were jacking up threes and just terrible, terrible clock management in the last minutes. Just atrocious clock management that they had in the last minute. Jalen Withers, who's not a three-point shooter, took that three early on in the shot clock, and after that, the rest was history. Alabama went down the opposite side, and Grant Nelson got the and one over Withers. I mean, that was just a big crack under pressure job right there by North Carolina, how they just sold the end of that game right there. Right now, the ghost of R.J. Davis is haunting Mark Sears. R.J. Davis could not buy a bucket for the majority of that game. And Mark Sears is yet to still score tonight. All depends if he can get going or not. Right now, he's been shut down. Nothing on the board for Sears. 7 shot attempts, nada. When your top player can't score, good teams find themselves ways to win. Tennessee did that with Dalton Connect going cold against Texas. They found a way to win. And Alabama, can they do that tonight? Is it going to be enough defensively, especially down low? That's where Clemson has torched them so far. Has been points in the paint. Clemson leads that number 16-10 right now inside. Clemson's got a lot of good front court guys on this team. Good balance so far. Shefflin leads the way with 8. R.J. Godfrey off the bench has got 6. P.J. Hall has 4 so far as we come back from the timeouts. Alabama on an 8-zip run. Alabama has the basketball. Outside Estrada. 5 minutes left to play in the first. Estrada towards his right, guarded by Hall. Gives it out left corner. Stevenson, open 3, and he makes another one. 26-24 right now. Jaron Stevenson, after a terrible air ball, he has found his stroke. 11-zip run for Alabama. Clemson on the scoring drought for the last 3+ minutes. Clemson with the ball. Hall, bounce pass, deflected, intercepted by Alabama. Here they go up the floor. Shockingly, Alabama's not pushing it enough. They lob it though behind the defense. Estrada couldn't finish off the glass too strong. That should have been a lead alley-oop. Instead, Estrada went up and tried to put it off the rim. And Clemson in transition buries down the deep two. Chase Hunter connects on it. 28-24. A swing in the game right now instead of a tie game if you execute by Alabama. They can't get back in transition, and Clemson just got the bucket. Bounce pass, backdoor cutter, and there's Mark Sears. First basket tonight. Good backdoor cut right there to the rim by Sears. 2-point game, 13-2 run by Alabama last 3.5+ minutes. Gerard, bounce pass, and swiped away by Sears, and a good cover-up as P.J. Hall pounces on the basketball. That looked like a runaway by Sears. It ends up being a tie-up, though, and the possession arrow will go to Alabama. 26-24. So we take the timeout with under 4 minutes left to go before halftime and a media break. Tie up on the floor. It will be Alabama ball coming up after the timeout. So Mark Sears just scored. Tatiana, welcome back in. Thanks for joining in. Got 150 plus right now. If you're out there enjoying the stream, like the content, make sure to smash the thumbs up. Hitting the like helps out this video a ton being found on YouTube. If you'd like to come on back for future live streams, make sure to subscribe over to my channel. I cover basketball action, play-by-play, college basketball, also NBA streams. I plan on covering both of the games tomorrow with Purdue at 2:20 p.m. taking on Tennessee, and then Duke versus NC State just past 5 o'clock tomorrow. So feel free to join in for both of those streams tomorrow if you guys would like. And also, make sure to ring that notification bell if you'd like to become notified for future live streams when I do go live. 2 streams planned for tomorrow, Andrew. I had a busy day today, announced a game for lacrosse, wrote 2 post-game articles for men's lacrosse, women's lacrosse. Missed the first stream for UConn, Illinois because I was working late, but here I am now covering this one. If they had swapped times, it would have been the opposite. I would have missed Alabama, Clemson if they put it at 6:10, and I would have covered Illinois, UConn if they put that one at 8:59 or like 8:50. But UConn, I believe, is first preference since they're the overall seed for like tip-off times and stuff like that. So they get like all like the earlier game times for like the evening times because that's the like Northeast specific times. That's like the prime time slot that the Northeast watches. Usually like the peak watching time is usually 7 p.m. on the Northeast, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Yes, I think NC State definitely has a chance. NC State beat Duke in the ACC tournament. I definitely think they got a chance. They took control of that game against Marquette, a 2 seed, and won that game. Duke's kind of lucky that they're still in the bracket right now. If Jamal Shead didn't go down, Houston's winning that game. They only beat Houston by 3 with Shead getting injured. And Houston had just no answers offensively. Houston should have lost by double digits last night. So I think NC State, Vegas has said it, that they got Final Four vibes similar to UCLA from 3 years ago as an 11 seed. I think they got a good chance to take down Duke tomorrow, in my honest opinion. Duke has played 2 mid-majors, Vermont, and also James Madison, and then they beat Houston without Shead. They were having a lot of issues early on in that game with Houston. They had more turnovers than they had field goals made going into halftime last night. They had 8 field goals at the half. They had 9 turnovers going into half. And if it wasn't for Jeremy Roach bailing out that team, they would have lost last night if it wasn't for Roach. Inbound here, 2-point game. Alabama with a possession, top of the key, handoff to Sears. Sears has got 2, just scored on the backdoor cutter before the timeout. Top of the key, Sears dribbles up at the left elbow, moves it out to the right wing. Stevenson pops up, takes the 3, and he airballed it. That goes out of bounds. It's been Jekyll and Hyde tonight for this game for Jaron Stevenson. He's had 2 terrible air balls. He's also made 2 threes from the corner. So Clemson has left it wide open, and sometimes they have earned the reasoning to leave him wide open. Other times he's been able to drill the 3s, but right now the numbers look like this for Jaron Stevenson. He's made 2 threes so far in this game from him, both from the corner. He's got 7 points at the moment. Missed shot down low. Bodies flying everywhere. There's 2 players out of the play here for Clemson. 5 and 4 up the floor for Alabama as they go backdoor, and they couldn't finish at the rim. Estrada tips it out. Corner 3 splash. It is good by Rylan Griffin. 29-28. Alabama was once down in this game, 26-13. It's their first lead since the 14-minute mark of the first half. 2:45 left to go. Handoff Clemson. Gerard, top of the key, takes it off the rim, no good, and he has gone cold in this game for Gerard. This is his 159th start of his collegiate career. For Joe Gerard, a fifth-year senior transfer from Syracuse. Sears bricked the 3. Loose ball foul, though, picked up, charged on the floor to Clemson. And that's their 7th. So both teams now in the bonus will have free throws here for Alabama. Teddy, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Glad to have you in the channel. Grant Nelson at the free throw line. 1-and-1 bonus for Alabama. First one's good. Nelson picked up 2 quick personal fouls in this game, so he's sitting out for a little bit. Nelson, second free throw, no good. Skipped around the rim and out. Clemson collects the rebounds. Major scoring drought for Clemson. Jack Clark just picked up his second personal foul. Clemson has it at the top with Hall. Hall dribbles towards his left, handoff, Chase Hunter. Shot clock down to 15 for the Tigers. Hunter towards the right wing, finds an opening, steps into a 3, no good. Skipped around the rim and out. Offensive rebound, Hall. Alabama wasn't able to box out, and we got an offensive foul. Jaron Stevenson takes the charge. It will go right back over to Alabama. as PJ Hall lowers the shoulder, lowers the boom right into Stevenson, who takes the charge. This game has flipped the switch right into the direction of the Crimson Tide right now. Alabama, nothing going on early in this game. They were down, being doubled 26-13. They have outscored Clemson 17-2 ever since, and PJ Hall has just picked up his second personal foul. PJ Hall takes a seat on the bench right now. Boston College eliminated Clemson from the ACC tournament because Quinton Post put PJ Hall into severe foul trouble. Straightaway three. Laser beam from downtown. Bang, bang. It's good by Mark Sears. That's all you need for Alabama. That dude they heat up, he's a bucket getter. Averaging 21 points per game this season. Minute 40 left to go before halftime. Bounce pass. Down to the mid-block for Clemson. Shefflin backs his way low. Post turnaround jumper. Rattled in. It's good for two for Ian Shefflin. That ends a lengthy scoring drought for Clemson. Alabama with the ball. Look at the push tempo play their game. Sears dribbles up. Step back three in the air. Takes it. Off the rim, no good. That was a nasty step back. Battle for the rebound. And it will be on the floor here. A foul committed, charge to Shefflin of Clemson. That's their 9th now as a team. At one point in this game, Alabama had 5 fouls and Clemson had 3. And now Clemson has added 6 fouls within that span, and Alabama's only added 2. 9th personal foul of the half committed by Clemson, charged to Shefflin on the loose ball. Alabama in the bonus, 1-1 at the free throw line with Nick Pringle. Pringle shooting in the 1-1. Free throw number 1, no good, missed it. Around the rim and out, rebound control by Shefflin. Clemson's going to slow it down. They would like to play their game right now. Just 4 points in the last 7 minutes for Clemson. At the left wing, they move it on top. Shefflin out to the right wing to Chauncey Wiggins. Gives it off to Gerard. Elevates for the J. 17-footer connects on it. 33-32. Final minute left to go before halftime. Top of the key, Estrada. Estrada dribble drive, kick out quarter. Outside it goes to the wing here. They're going to slow it down with Rylan Griffin. Griffin dribbles up, top of the key. 15 on the shot clock. Under 40 seconds left to go on the game clock. Griffin dribbles, drives, inside, double clutch, and he got it. It's good, up and off the glass for Rylan Griffin. 35-32 Alabama. Can they put up points in a hurry? In a flash, just like that. 25 seconds left to go before halftime. Gerard slows down tempo. 2-second differential shot clock and game clock to close out going to halftime. Alabama on a 22-6 run in the last 7.5 minutes. Clemson has the ball. Edge of the midcourt logo. Gerard bounce pass over to Wiggins. Top of the key, Shefflin. 6 on the clock remaining. Gerard towards his right, 2 in the shot clock. Gotta go underneath, and they do. And it hits the top of the glass. That's a shot clock violation. Never hit the rim. Turnover committed by Clemson with .5. It's going to go back to Alabama for one last shot here. Tough defense by Alabama just a moment ago. And it didn't even look like it left his hands in time either. Big defensive stop there for the Crimson Tide. .1 remaining. We'll take the timeouts. The referees are going to take a look at the monitor too, but that is clearly a shot clock violation. They're going to see how much time will be remaining on the clock, but when the clock stopped, they had .5. I believe they're going to put back like a second or so, or 2 on the clock. That was a shot clock violation. And at the time, it was approximately a 2-second differential between shot clock and game clock. So this should be around like the ballpark range of 2 instead of 5/10, which Alabama should have on this possession. Clemson down low. They tried to put up the shot, never touched any part of the rim. Hit off the top of the glass. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, or ring the notification bell if you like to be notified for future live streams. What a game starting off the first half here. Alabama's come alive after trailing 26-13. Alabama will get the inbound. Wow, they did it up into 2 seconds, just 5/10. So Alabama inbound. Sears, 3/4 court shot. That goes over as it hits the middle between the top of the rim and the bottom of the shot clock, in the middle of that range right there, over the rim or over the top of the glass, and we close out going to halftime now. 35-32. Alabama by 3 over Clemson as we enter halftime. What a surge by Alabama. 22-6. first half run. They closed it out in the last 7.5+ minutes. And Alabama's got all the momentum entering the second half. Clemson in quite a bit of foul trouble too. I'll give you guys the update to the foul numbers as we now enter halftime. What a game. Mark Sears was scoreless throughout most of that half, but somehow, some way, able to figure out how other players can get involved and how Sears can finally start to knock down shots. He had a really good step-back three for him, a backdoor cutter to the rim. That's how he's got his 5 so far for Mark Sears. Just 2 for 11 shooting, 1 for 7 from 3. If Sears is his regular self, then this game right now is a 20-point blowout. 10 points by Jaron Stevenson leading the way. He's made 2 threes from the corner. He's also airballed 2 threes as well. 8 points by Rylan Griffin. 5 points each between Sears and Estrada. Estrada with 3 assists tonight. 4 points by Grant Nelson, and he was in deep foul trouble too for Grant Nelson. And 3 points by Nick Pringle. Clemson top scorer. 10 points by Ian Shefflin. 7 points by Chase Hunter. 6 by RJ Godfrey. PJ Hall has been limited to just 4, and he's got 4 turnovers. So this is what it looks like for foul trouble right now for Clemson. 2 personal fouls between 3 front court players at the moment. Jack Clark's got 2. PJ Hall has 2, and RJ Godfrey has 2. So their front court guys are in some deep foul trouble in the first half of action, whereas the guards have struggled to really get going. Chase Hunter's got 7, but Joe Girard, he's having a tough game so far with just 2 points and 1 for 5 shooting. And then for Alabama, 2 personal fouls by Grant Nelson. Everybody else is either 1 or 0 right now. That's a win-win for Alabama. Alabama commits around 19 personal fouls per game. They only have 7 going into halftime. So Mark Sears struggling, up by 3, win-win scenario for Alabama, because if Sears is pouring in his buckets, then Alabama's up probably by like 12, 15, 20 at the half if Sears is knocking down shots left and right. Points for this one here. I'm liking Alabama for my opinion in this game. That's my opinion. No knock there on Clemson. Clemson's been playing really excellent lately too. I think it's gonna be close though. That line's at 4.5. I think it could be closer than that. Like, could very well come down to the final possession. All depends here for the second half about foul trouble. For this one, because if these front court guys get into foul trouble, then this could really slip away from Clemson, and Alabama is gonna win this game. Also, if Clemson's not up within the last like 5 minutes, Alabama, they play their best basketball in the last 5 minutes for Alabama. So even if Alabama's down by like 5-6 points, they can pile in points in a hurry right there for Alabama. So throughout the tournament, they've shut down teams in the last like couple minutes. They were down against Grand Canyon with 8 minutes left to go. They won by 11. The last game against UNC, they were trailing. UNC couldn't execute well. They made some poor decisions. They turned things around. They beat UNC. Stacy, thanks for joining in. Glad to have you on the stream again. Miguel, welcome in. Yeah, this is a really good battle here. Clemson's front court guys need to avoid foul trouble in this game. Also, I didn't point out, PJ Hall's only got 4. So, PJ Hall's only got 4 points too. So, I've talked a lot about Sears because Sears averages 21. Hall averages 18 though, so he needs to get going too, because the top 2 scorers for both of these teams have struggled right now. So, if Clemson wants to make their first ever Final Four appearance, they got to get PJ Hall to be able to score buckets down low on Grant Nelson in the second half. And things were looking really promising early on, but he's picked up 2 personal fouls and he sat out late stage of the first half for him. Hey, Thomas on the stream, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, unfortunate for Seton Hall. They beat UConn by 15 this season. They should have been in the tournament. It's too bad. Yeah, I'm probably gonna put on the NIT on Tuesday when I'm working on some of my other like work stuff or so. Like whenever I'm not streaming, I'm usually like working on a lot of like broadcasting prep stuff for my other games that I do for like in-person broadcasting, and I usually put on like a game or so in the background when I'm doing my work stuff. Hey, Salvador Chavez, welcome back in. Hope all is well, man. Yeah, so whoever wins this game takes on UConn in the Final Four. So that'll be next Saturday, whoever wins this game. Yeah, I haven't really been following the NIT that much. I'll see, because they kind of like schedule the games randomly for most of them. I think they got set times though once they get deep into the brackets. Yeah, Utah State's playing on Tuesday, so they're still in. They're in the NIT semis, so it's Utah against Indiana State, and then Georgia against Seton Hall. So there's two NIT games in the semis, 7 and 9:30 on Tuesday. So Indiana State's still in it. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the NIT streams because I have to do a lot of work too for the stuff next week that I have to do. So I have to find time to do that. Plus, I have to work overtime this upcoming week to train one of the new broadcasters. So I'm staying a couple hours past my scheduled time for this week. Yeah, that would be something special if Indiana State's able to win the NIT. Hoping it's Indiana State against Seton Hall in the championship game, because both of those teams had legitimate cases to be in the bracket. I think another thing not a whole lot of people talked about was that the Big 12, they were lackluster this year for the Big 12. I know that the Mountain West got 6 bids, and you could have taken those teams out of the tournament too, but they did the right thing by taking Oklahoma out of the tournament. I said that on Selection Sunday. I was like, I got a bold prediction. I think Oklahoma's not going to make the tournament, and the selection committee agreed right there and didn't have them into the bracket. Yeah, TCU was another one of these teams that I don't think they should have even been a tournament team, honestly, for TCU. Like, going into Selection Sunday, they had 0 wins against NCAA tournament teams until January 30th when they beat Texas Tech for them. They had wins over Oklahoma, West Virginia, Cincinnati, K-State, West Virginia again. That was their previous 5 wins that they had since January, going into the Selection Sunday NCAA bracket reveal. And their non-conference schedule was super uninspiring for them. They beat Georgetown by 1, lost against Nevada, lost against Clemson by 8, and played this weak non-conference schedule for them. And they benefited by crushing teams like Mississippi Valley State and Omaha, Southern, UT, Rio Grande Valley, Houston Christian. They beat Georgetown by 1, and just super just just this easy cake non-conference schedule for them. So I don't even know how they got put into the bracket at 21-12 for them, because there was really just not a whole lot of balance, because there was a lot of Big 12 teams that shouldn't even have been ranked to begin with and were put in the back of the top 25. BYU, Texas Tech, like those teams were more like teams that should have been ranked around like 38, 40, 45 or so, which would have pushed the fringe teams back in the Big 12 or so. Like Texas would have been a play-in team. TCU wouldn't even have been close to the bracket. But they rated the Big 12 as this incredible conference this year when they were playing like junk in a non-conference slate against like legitimate Power 5 teams, and just beat up upon all these other teams from conferences like the SWAC and the Southland and all these like mid-major teams, and blew them out by like 35-40 to inflate the net. And that's the only reason why they got put in. That whole like net inflation thing. Because Iowa State, they were blowing out teams by 40 in a non-conference slate for them. They played somebody close who they shouldn't have played close to. Yeah, I think they're gonna do fairly well for Oklahoma and Texas. So they're making their way over to the SEC next year. Been so much conference realignment. It's crazy that within a 1-year span, the crazy part about it is that BYU didn't even win a WCC tournament ever during their time in the WCC. They transfer over to the Big 12, and somehow they get ranked in the top 25 because they had... I think they beat San Diego State, if I'm not mistaken, and they got put in the top 25 because of that. And then they were kept in the top 25 for most of the year because of like one big non-conference win that they had back in December for them. Yeah, it's just crushing. Like, I think there needs to be more done for protection for regular season champions for these conference tournaments. Like, teams like Princeton, you go, like, throughout the regular season, you only lose 3 times. There needs to be some sort of protection. I know a lot of people complain about the format of the WCC, but the WCC is doing it right, I feel like, to protect teams like Gonzaga, St. Mary's for their top seeds. They're protecting their 2 top seeds because those teams, like Gonzaga and St. Mary's, the 1 and the 2 seed, they get multiple buys. I'm not for certain how many buys, but it's multiple. It's going to be like 3 or 4 that they get from playing other teams who's at the bottom of the conference, like San Diego. That's USD, the Torritos, San Diego. Pepperdine, Pacific, like those teams were playing early on in the WCC tournament, and then Gonzaga, St. Mary's had multiple days off because they have a bye. They need to establish that format in other conferences to protect those top seeds, like what we see from all these other conferences. Ivy does it with just 4 teams play on neutral court for the Ivy, so whoever's at the bottom doesn't even advance. It's just the top 4 teams get a postseason bid from the Ivy for them. But other conferences need to, like, instead of having the 1 versus the 8 seed or so, they need to get those 1 seeds and 2 seeds to advance further on into the bracket to protect those seeds. Yeah, Duke got real lucky yesterday. They couldn't crack the code when Shed was out there defensively. They really struggled in the first half. They had more turnovers than field goals in the first half for Duke. Yeah, it was. So I was right about that. BYU, they got ranked early on in the season because they beat San Diego State, the national champion runner up from last year. They beat San Diego State in game 2 of the season, 74-65. Yeah, Big 12 was really lackluster this year, and a lot of people over on Twitter kept on saying like best conference in college basketball. Well, a couple of years ago it was, but it really just took a turn downwards this season. Like they added UCF in the conference from the American. You got some of these American teams that were former American teams now, first year teams in the Big 12 that were picking off Big 12 teams that's been there for years. Like Kansas, they got upset against UCF. Like I don't think anybody would have saw that coming at the beginning of the season. Yeah, Houston beat Xavier by 6. And then when they played mid-major teams, they just inflated the net because they would crush those mid-major teams. And then we see all those teams had like a strength of schedule around like the 300s. I got to see who Iowa State played. They played somebody super close. Oh, no, it wasn't that. They beat DePaul by 19. Huh. It's got to be somebody else then. Yeah. Yeah, they lost to Virginia Tech. Oh, yeah. I'm glad I saw that when I was looking at the regular season. South Carolina was the team. They South Carolina beat DePaul by 5, 73-68 this season. Yeah, I saw it too. Texas Tech got beat against Butler in non-conference. So a lot of those Big 12 teams, they had tough times against other conferences this year for like major conferences than usual. Hey, what's good? Carbet in the stream, welcome in. He's taking Clemson for this one. Feel free to let us know out in the chat who guys like to win this one here, Clemson or Alabama, as we're at halftime. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, Texas beat Louisville by just 1. And TCU beat Georgetown by just 1. So yeah, there was a lot of red flags for the Big 12 this year. And I kind of feel like they they burned themselves out too, because it's just such a like tough physical conference, but there's not really much efficiency with those Big 12 teams. It's all like defense and players it's all like bloodbath matchups there. So by the time you get into the tournament, all these teams are just burning themselves out because they're just beating upon each other in the tournament. So it's not really leading to like any sort of conference success based on like the style that they play, that all these guys are just trying to like crush the other opponent and just crush their guts physically, and it just wears you down throughout the course of the season. That you got games that's just a rock fight every single game. Right now for me, I'm on the East Coast, so it's 10:05 p.m. currently. Here we go, second half about to begin. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams here. About to get ready for half number 2 of action. And here we go. Clemson, right to left on the floor, gets the inbound. Orange uniforms for Clemson, white numbers, white letters. Alabama, white jerseys with the crimson numbers, crimson letters for the Crimson Tide. Clemson with the first possession. Joe Girard dribbles up to the free throw circle, swings it outside, left corner, Chase Hunter. Hunter lobs it down to Shefflin. Shefflin powers his way, low post off a double team, puts it up, and puts it through. It's good for 2, plus the foul. Ian Shefflin with an and 1, looking to tie it up here at the free throw line. Both of these teams are seeking their first ever Final Four appearance in school history. So this will be one shot coming up here by Ian Shefflin. He is up to now 12 points in the game, 7 rebounds. Barry, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining in, man. 1 to tie for Clemson. Big bucket to start things off. And this is a great free throw shooting team for Clemson. 9th in the nation at 78.7% at the free throw line. Shefflin, the most improved player this season from the ACC. Chance to tie it up with a made free throw, and he missed it. It's a rare free throw miss there for Clemson. 1-point game. Alabama possession number 1 to begin the second half. Left wing perimeter, Grant Nelson. Nelson looking to turn a corner, slipped, lost control of the basketball. He turns it over. Clemson with a steal. Hall hands it off to Hunter, crosses the midcourt logo. Chase Hunter dribbles up, mid-block outside. PJ Hall takes the 3, hit the rim short, strong rebound going up, and he powers his way with a bucket. Jack Clark right there, able to score for 2. Clemson on the run to begin half number 2. 6th offensive rebound of the game. Alabama's actually +7 on the offensive glass, 13-6, got deflected into the backcourt. Alabama picks it up, top of the key. With Griffin, he dribbles up, drives downhill, swings that left wing, wide open 3, Sears, he's got it. Bang, bang from the perimeter as Sears sizzles the triple. Should be 38-36 right now on the scoreboard. CBS got the wrong number at the moment here. Outside, it goes over to Clark. To the right wing perimeter for Clemson, Chase Hunter. Hunter dribbles up, jumper, free throw circle. Missed off the rim, no good. Rebound secure by Alabama. I thought so. 38-36. Thank you there to TBS. Outside to the top of the key, up fake. Griffin moves it over to Sears. Just made the last 3 to lead by 2. Sears pass off the roll down. Nelson dump off underneath. Leads to the two-handed flush. That is Nick Pringle with a man slam. Shoveled on the assist by Grant Nelson. 40-36 now for Alabama. 2 minutes through action here to the start of the second. Clemson with a possession. Chase Hunter crosses the midcourt logo. Bounce pass top of the key. Girard takes the 3. Right down the middle, delivers. Oh, we got some big time buckets tonight here, folks. Joe Girard. 5th year, a transfer from Syracuse. He's playing his 159th game that he started throughout his career. Almost a turnover there for Alabama. Very lucky that Nelson was able to get his hands on the ball. 12 on the shot clock. Spin move. Estrada drives, attacks, dump off underneath, and Pringle gets fouled. He'll have 2 coming up at the line for Nick Pringle. 17:26 left to go. What a battle right now between these two teams. That's Clemson's first in the half. They're 10th as a team right now. Alabama has their first personal foul, 8th in the game. 2 shots here for Nick Pringle. First one's good. 41-39. This is going to be a good one to the finish. That is on Shefflin. Front court guys have gone into deep foul trouble in this game early on. Shefflin now picks up his second. So 2 personal fouls by Clemson by 4 separate players. Ian Shefflin, P.J. Hall, Jack Clark, and R.J. Godfrey. All 4 of those guys are front court players too. The front court players in quite a bit of foul trouble here for Clemson. Second free throw made by Pringle. 17:20 left to play. Alabama 5 for 8 the free throw line. Clemson 5 for 6. Jack Clark off to the wing. It goes into the hands here. Shefflin on top. Clark moves it over to Hall. Bounce pass down low. Got broken up by Alabama out of bounds. It's going to stay Clemson ball. Yeah, DJ Burns playing football there. Definitely somebody's got to recruit him there for football. Built like an NFL player. 2 great streams in store tomorrow. Make sure to join in. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon covering Purdue versus Tennessee at 2:20, followed up by Duke versus NC State at 5:05. Sword up, throwing it down with a right-handed flush. Looking like Superman, getting height with that jam. It's P.J. Hall. 1-point game, 42-41 now. Alabama. Out to the wing. There's my 41. And going baseline. They throw it down with Nelson right back at you with a 2-handed flush. 3-point lead for Alabama. Having some big-time dunks right now. 6 points on the board by Nelson. Hunter. Now down to the low block. It goes over to Hall. Powers his way. Bodies tangle up. Hall's in the hardwood. They got 2 players out of the play right here. Looking to take it in transition. And that will be a goaltend violation committed by Clemson. Alabama out in the transition scores the 2. 46-41. I want to see this replay right here. P.J. Hall missed the bucket down low. And him and another Alabama defender just got tangled up underneath the hoop. You see the 2 slam dunk plays. P.J. Hall straight line to the hoop, throwing it down with the right hand. And then the slam dunk by Nelson. And then Griffin on... Yep, that's the goaltend violation from behind charge to Chase Hunter. So 46-41 now. Clemson down by 5 with a possession. Rylan Griffin up to now 10 points tonight for the Crimson Tide. Top of the key, P.J. Hall dribbles towards his right. Hands it off to Hunter. Hunter at the elbow. Swings it out right corner. R.J. Godfrey out on top. Hall off fake here. 16 minutes left to go. Down low. Godfrey. Low block double teamed outside. Hall off fake. 6 in the shot clock. Backs his way. Low block has possession. Right past Nelson. To the rim. He scores. And 1. Coming up in the free throw line by Hall. 3-point game. PJ with a big bucket right there off the pivot. Yeah, Grant Nelson couldn't get proper position. Tried to guard him from the side. And PJ Hall just able to work his way off the pivot move and slip his way right past Grant Nelson to the cup. 3-point game plus 1 coming up at the line for Hall. We take the timeout under 16 minutes left to play. What a game. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you like to keep on coming back for future live streams in the channel. PJ Hall working his way up to 8 right now for Clemson. Ian Shefflin, lone player in double figures with 12. Alabama's got 2 players double digits. 10 by Rylan Griffin, 10 by Jaron Stevenson. Mark Sears has 8. Wow, he's 275. Yep. Wow. 6'9", 275 for DJ Burns. Kind of wishing that Colorado had upset Marquette in the second round, because we would have saw Eddie Lampkin versus DJ Burns. Color Guy in the stream, welcome in. Thanks for stopping in, finding the channel. Appreciate it, man. You guys, the legends here in the stream. If you'd like to join back in for more streams, I plan on being back tomorrow for both of the other two Elite 8 games. Purdue taking on Tennessee tomorrow at 2:20, and then after that will be Duke versus NC State just past 5 o'clock. So if you guys would like to join in, feel free to do so. Yeah, Stevenson's knocked down a couple threes so far in this one. So Clemson's left it wide open. He's made the Clemson defense pay twice from the corner in this game. He's had a couple rough misses that he airballed. He shot up 2 air balls, but he redeemed himself making 2 threes after those air balls. Grant Nelson in a lot of foul trouble. He just picked up his 3rd. So that was number 3 charged to Nelson there. Yeah, I heard about that. So Lampkin has entered the portal. That's right. A couple days ago. (46-43). We're about to get back to action here. What a game between these two teams. First Final Four that both of these programs are searching for in the history of their program. Thanks so much, Barry. Really appreciate it. The free throw is no good. Missed short off the mark by P.J. Hall. 15:45 left. Alabama with a possession. Handoff to Sears around the perimeter. So you got this handoff from Stevenson. Pringle, he's on the floor. Sears, Stevenson, Pringle, step back 3 in the air. Mark Sears splashes down the triple. 49-43. So it's Sears, Pringle, Stevenson. Estrada is on the floor along with Rylan Griffin, the 5th player out there for Alabama. Down low off the pivot move. Got deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Pringle. So it's going to stay Clemson ball now. Clemson's got Hall, Hunter, Jack Clark, R.J. Godfrey. There's a 5th player, too. Once we get the B-roll lined up here on the screen, we can see who that 5th player is. We do have a substitute for Alabama, though. Sam Walters checks onto the floor. It's actually Dylan Hunter who's in the game now for Clemson. So he's the 5th player on the floor for Clemson right now. Top of the key, Chase Hunter over to Dylan Hunter. Bounce pass down to the mid-block, 2 in the shot clock. Hall, turn around, and he got it right at the buzzers. The shot clock was about to expire. 49-45. That's a tough turnaround with a 16-foot J right there by PJ. 10 points on the board here for PJ. Loose ball, and Alabama just turned it over. Clemson. Ooh, that was dangerous in the pass. Flung it right to their player, though, with the logo. Kick out corner. Open 3, Clemson. No good off the back rim. Missed by Jack Clark. Tipped off the glass, and that is going to be charged to Clemson on an over-the-back violation. So this is going to be Alabama basketball now. Over the back. Or no, that's going to be over the cylinder, actually. Didn't get over the back of an Alabama player. He touched it. He touched the rim, tried to tip it in. Tried to touch the rim to tip it in by R.J. Godfrey. Over the cylinder. He touched the rim trying to tip it in. Came back down onto the rim for basket interference right there. That's a crusher. Clemson, you spoke about Alabama, how they've been cold shooting bricks from 3. They started off 1 for 12. Clemson right now, they haven't shot many threes throughout the game. They're 2 for 12 now. They have been going inside the low post throughout this game for Clemson. But lately, when they've tried to see if they can knock down threes, it just hasn't been budging for them. Just 2 for 12 from the perimeter. Alabama, ooh, dangerous pass right there. Clemson, though, got a piece of it out of bounds. So this is going to stay Alabama basketball. That'll be wild. Me and John Fanta covered a game sometime. Absolutely wild. So Grant Nelson, he's got 3 fouls. Jack Clark has 3 for Clemson. 2 each between Shefflin, Hall, and Godfrey And it's basically Grant Nelson. He's the only player that's got multiple fouls with 3. Everybody else is 1 or 0 for Alabama. That's a good sign for Alabama with all the other players because usually they commit a lot of fouls. Missed 3 at the wing by Rylan Griffin. Rebound secure by Clemson now as they take it past midcourt. Just above 14 minutes left to play here in this game. What a battle. Dalen Hunter sends it off to Joe Girard. Girard thought about a step back. Bounce pass goes to the low block off the Hall. Hall backs his way. Double team. Bounce pass underneath the hoop here for Clemson. They work their way underneath and score. RJ Godfrey able to lay it up for 2. 2-point game now with under 14 minutes left. 5 lead changes, 1 tie tonight. Sears, kick out, corner, 3, Stevenson, right down the middle, bang, bang, he delivers. Jaron Stevenson. Confidence from the corner right now, a driving kick with assist by Sears. 13 by Stevenson. Third made 3 of the game. Down to 13.5 left to go. Godfrey at the wing, sends it off to Hunter. Top of the key into the hands here of Girard. Girard, top of the free throw circle. The bounce pass goes to the mid-block off the Hall. 8 on the shot clock. PJ Hall, his pass misfired. It's out of bounds. Whipped it right to the front row. The cheerleader section right there by PJ Hall. Tried to fire in a fastball that was well offline. Take a look at the last 3. That was excellent. Sears with an assist out to the corner to Stevenson. Jaron Stevenson in this game, he has made Clemson's defense pay, leaving him wide open multiple times. He's made 3 threes tonight for Stevenson. Those 3 threes have been major because right now they lead by 5. Sears is going to slow it down this time. Down to 13 minutes left. Mark Sears at the left wing. Ball got deflected and out of bounds. And it went off of Sears, the referee will say. It's a turnover committed by Mark Sears of Alabama. Wow. He thought it was touched by Clemson. Let's see. No, Sears lost it. Girard messed up Sears with a dribble. Sears was going towards his left. Girard was switching, going to the opposite side, and Sears tried to get around him. And wow, that could have been big right there. Sears, if he had been able to handle that properly, that probably would have been an open layup downhill. Instead, Girard moving the other way allowed Sears to lose the dribble off the crossover. Girard, jumper, he got it. Bounced off the rim twice, dropped into the net. 3-point game. Alabama, quarter 3, quick up the floor. Oh, they hit another one. He is unstoppable right now for the quarter. It's another 3 sunk down by Jaron Stevenson. 55-49. And he's only in his first season, averaging 5 points per game. Tonight, he's pouring in 16 in an Elite 8 matchup. Top of the key, Girard signals the offense, dribbles towards his right, bounce past the low block off to Shefflin. Shefflin dribbles off free throw circle, sends it out left wing. Hunter with a 3, bricked off the back heel, rebound secured by Alabama. Alabama crosses midcourt. Estrada, top. Dribbles up, free throw circle, drives downhill to the rim with a left hand. Huge rejection by Clemson right there with a block by Shefflin. Here they go up the floor. Girard has it out the right wing perimeter. He's defended by Griffin. Top of the key. Shefflin. Open 3, no good. Bricked off the back rim. Offensive rebound. Pro hop. Underneath, Godfrey powers his way to the rim. Up and off the backboard. Scores with a right-handed layup. 4-point game, 55-51, 10 points by RJ Godfrey. 11.5 left to go. Estrada, top of the key. Crossover. He's guarded one-on-one by Hunter. Drives on Hunter to the elbow. Had the ball poked loose. Got it back. Estrada. 12 on the shot clock. And we got a turnover here committed by Estrada. It's going to go back to Clemson. 4-point game right now. What a battle. We're going to take a TV timeout as well, as the referees call it on Aaron Estrada at the elbow there off the double dribble. What a battle between these two teams. My clock's just a tad ahead. We're down to 11:24 left. Man, what a game. We got 250 plus right now watching. You guys are legends, MVPs in the channel. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Ring the notification bell if you'd like to come on back for future live streams. I plan on being back tomorrow afternoon covering the 2 other Elite 8 games, Purdue versus Tennessee and Duke against NC State. So feel free to join back in on the streams tomorrow. Tony, welcome in. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this one here, Alabama or Clemson. As we take a look at the foul trouble, it looks like this. 3 personal fouls by Grant Nelson for Alabama. Everybody else with 1 or 0 for Alabama. So everybody else avoiding foul trouble besides Grant Nelson. 3 personal fouls by Jack Clark for Clemson, and then 2 each between Shefflin, Hall, and Godfrey right now. So their front court guys are in quite a bit of foul trouble for Clemson. After that, everybody else is 1 or 0. The game of his life for Jaron Stevenson. 16 bench points tonight for Stevenson. 6 for 10 from the floor, 4 for 7 from 3. If Clemson loses this game, they're going to look back at the tape and see that they left Jaron Stevenson completely wide open in the corner, and they dared him to take threes. And tonight, Jaron Stevenson, he has been on point making threes. 4 for 7 left open on target range from the corner. Clemson tonight, their top scorer is Ian Shefflin with 12. PJ Hall's got 10, and then 10 points by RJ Godfrey. Mark Sears has found his way up to 11. He had a really slow start in this game by Sears. And then 10 by Rylan Griffin. Sears, though, has made 3 threes. And 2 made threes by Griffin. They're 10 for 26 from 3 for Alabama. Clemson has struggled to find their perimeter stroke tonight, just 2 for 14. And a lot of the first portion of this game, I remember the first 10 minutes of this game when Alabama trailed 26-13. I spent a lot of it talking about how Alabama's 1 for 12 from 3, and they got to start to get into their rhythm, and they finally found their rhythm. They were down 26-13, and then they made this monster comeback. They went into halftime in a 17-3 run at one point, and then they went into halftime on a 22-6 run for Alabama. (55-51), 11:24 left to play. An amazing battle here. Alabama 10 for 26 from the perimeter. Clemson's defense is locked down. The previous 3 opponents, New Mexico 3 for 23, Baylor 6 for 24. And Arizona only made 5 threes in the Sweet 16 game tonight. Alabama has double what Arizona did in the entire Sweet 16 game on Thursday. Back to action. Shefflin, bounce pass, backdoor cutter. Joe Girard gave a wide open layup. Instead, Hall gets rejected. Pinwheels around, and Clemson turns it over. The pass by Chase Hunter got deflected and stolen away by Rylan Griffin. Poor possession right there by Clemson. Joe Girard, backdoor cutter, gave up a wide open layup instead of a 2-point game. It's a 4-point game still. Nelson playing with those 3 personal fouls, popped up for the corner 3, no good, and a loose ball foul charged on the floor in the corner, and that's on PJ Hall. That's his 3rd. Reaching in, that's going to be Clemson's 3rd personal foul of the half. Yeah, first Final Four ever for Clemson or Alabama. So PJ Hall now picks up number 3 in the second half for personal fouls here for him. So 3 fouls committed each between Jack Clark and PJ Hall. And right behind Shefflin and Godfrey both have 2. So the front court guys in a lot of trouble. Nelson pops up, takes the 3. No good, skipped around the rim and out. Hall collects the defensive rebound. 10.5 left to play. Alabama now back on the defensive side of the floor as Clemson has it. Hall. Handoff Clark at the low block. Clark bounce pass Hall. Backs his way low post. Defended by Nelson. That's his 4th. 2 shots coming up at the free throw line by PJ Hall, and Grant Nelson in deep foul trouble. Picked up his 4th personal foul. James in the stream, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Rough game tonight for Grant Nelson here. Just 6 points, 4 personal fouls. PJ Hall, 2 critical free throws coming up. 10:22 left to play. 10 points, 4 rebounds tonight by Hall. Free throw number 1, no good. Bricked off the back rim. Clemson came into this game number 9 in the country, shooting above 78% at the free throw line. Tonight, they're now just 6 of 9 at 67%. Anarchy. Nope. Just college basketball. 10:22 left to go. Second free throw coming up here by Clemson with P.J. Hall. Free throw number 2 is good. Nets that one right down the middle. 3-point game. Grant Nelson with 4 personal fouls at the moment. We get a substitution. P.J. Hall will check out towards the bench. Both of these teams have missed 3 free throws tonight. Alabama's 5 for 8. Clemson is 6 for 9. More shockingly for Clemson because, I mean, they're top 10 in the country. Sears out to Griffin at the elbow. Griffin's pass broken up out of bounds. It will stay Alabama ball. Yep, we're almost under 10 left to go. Once we get to the home stretch with a close game with 5, you know that I'm going to be going off in this stream right here, giving it my all right now. 10-11 left to play. Alabama, by the way, has been on the scoring drought for the last 2 minutes and 20 minutes, or 2 minutes, 20 seconds plus. 3-point shot, that scoring drought continues. Missed 3 at the wing for Alabama. Clemson with a possession up the floor. Top of the key, Clemson dribbles up to the elbow with Godfrey. Outside, wide open 3 from the corner for the lead. No good. Bricked off the back by Chase Hunter. They've only made 2 threes today. Baseline dribble. Hunter underneath and a reach-in foul committed by Alabama. That's number 4 for the Crimson Tide in the second half. 3 by Clemson for fouls now. Half 2. Alabama now with 4. And that is picked up on the floor for Alabama here. Inbounds for Clemson under 9:45 left to play. 3-point lead. Clemson up fake. Gerard, 12 on the shot clock. Out to the top, Godfrey. Gives it over to the wing. Dylan Hunter, shake and bake, dribbles up. At the key, outside, finds his teammate Godfrey, has to launch. Now down to the low block here. 1 on the shot clock. Sheffrin, turn around, got it blocked, and that is going to be a shot clock violation for the second time tonight committed by Clemson. Jaron Stevenson down low, broke it up. He's been the player of the game tonight. Shefflin looking for the turnaround, and Stevenson's length right there just got a fingertip on that ball, broke it up. 5th block of the game. Stevenson giving Alabama some big-time plus minutes tonight. Alabama with the ball. 9:20 remaining. Sears slows down tempo. He has it at the left wing. Dribbles towards his right. Sends it off to Griffin. Rylan Griffin, guarded by Gerard. Dribbles at the right wing. Had an opening outside of Sears. Sears launches a 3. And he got it. Mark Sears right down the middle. Delivers in the triple. That's a big-time shot for Sears. Sticking out his tongue as well. Number 12 in the nation and points scored per game, averaging 21. Chase Hunter on top, moves it off. Gerard catching fire, came up short off the rim, no good. Rebound control for Alabama. Alabama, this is where they play their best basketball. Under 10 minutes left to go. Sears takes it, and an offensive foul. It's an illegal screen by the Crimson Tide that will go back to Clemson. Aaron Estrada sets the illegal screen. Mark Sears being aggressive right now. He's had the looks, and he's firing away. Peace out with that big J he just made a moment ago. If you're new on the channel, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. Mark Sears had no points in the first 10 minutes. He's got 14 now as the number 2 scorer behind Jaron Stevenson for Alabama. Shefflin hands it off Gerard, dribbles towards his right, passes out right corner. To the top of the key, it goes to Hall. Bounce pass down low. Shefflin powers his way underneath. Shefflin going backdoor, gets fouled. 2 free throws coming up. The foul gets committed by Stevenson. Ian Shefflin, 2 big-time free throws here for Clemson with 8:18 left to play. Clemson has gone 6 for 9 tonight at the free throw line. Not their team. Top 10 in the nation in free throw shooting percentage. Shefflin looking to see if he can make them both. 2 pressure free throws right now. First one. Oh, he missed it. Missed the first free throw at the line. Right now, Clemson is cracking under pressure. 26-13 they led. Does that sound familiar? Because North Carolina was leading 29-19. Or 19-9, North Carolina was leading on Thursday. Alabama came back and won. Second free throw is good here. They led by 13, and now they trail by 5. Alabama with the ball. Just above 8 minutes left to play. Sears dribbles up to the left elbow. Backpedals back to the perimeter. Sears dribbles, drives, passes down low, a fake underneath, and a lot of contact. We get a foul. Nick Pringle will shoot 2 coming up at the free throw line. As he was going up, he got contacted from behind. And if that's on PJ Hall, that's number 4, and it is. PJ Hall picks up his 4th personal foul, and he'll have to take a seat on the bench for quite a while as we reach the media timeouts. 7:59 left to go. 58-53 plus 2 free throws coming up by Alabama after the timeout. What a game here. Alabama will be shooting 2. PJ Hall in deep foul trouble. 4th personal foul for him. Grant Nelson has got 4 as well for Alabama, but he hasn't really been a big focal part in this game. It's been Jaron Stevenson, who has taken advantage of Clemson's non-contested defense that they have left them wide open on uncontested threes from the corner, and Stevenson's making that Clemson defense pay for leaving him wide open. He's got 16 off the bench. He averages around 5. And then 14 by Sears. After a slow start, he's found his way to make 4 threes. 10 points by Rylan Griffin. 3 guys in double figures. Nelson's only got 6. On the other side, Hall's got 11. Hall's the number 2 scorer, so it's not looking good for Clemson because he just picked up his 4th. He's got 5 turnovers as well out of the 8 total, and he's got 11 points. Shefflin's got 13. But the guards tonight, in order to advance in March, you gotta have a efficient guard play, and it's been well far from that today. 7 points by Joe Girard on 3 for 8 shooting. 7 points by Chase Hunter on 3 for 7 shooting, and these guys are tossing up bricks from 3, just 2 for 16 from 3 tonight for Clemson, and they're not like themselves at the free throw line. They missed 4 free throws. So 16 by Alabama, all from the bench by Jaron Stevenson. Clemson's got 10 from the bench by R.J. Godfrey. Almost 300 on the stream. You guys, the real legends in the channel. If you're a first-timer here, really enjoying the content, make sure to come back for future live streams. I plan on being back tomorrow covering both of the Elite 8 games, Purdue against Tennessee and then Duke against NC State. I'm also hoping to cover the Celtics on Monday, too. So I'm hoping to cover my first Celtics stream in a while since, like, the last 2 weeks since it's been all college basketball. So I'm hoping to be back with my next NBA stream on Monday. Yeah, thanks for joining in, finding the stream here, James. Jarrett, welcome in. UNC fan here. Glad to have you find the channel. Yeah, this channel's out here for all different types of fans. I'm a Providence fan myself. I'm like 20 minutes away from Providence in Southeast Mass. I'm a Celtics fan for my NBA team, like an hour south of Boston, but I cover all different types of teams, college hoops, NBA. Usually the biggest part of the channel is this time, like March Madness and NBA playoffs is massive. I'm from Massachusetts, so it's probably more so like a New England accent for me. So I'm not too far away from Boston. First one's good at the free throw line. Nick Pringle's shooting 2. And both of the front court guys with 4 personal fouls. PJ Hall right now is playing. So he's on the court right now with 4 fouls. Grant Nelson's taking a seat on the bench. Nelson's only scored 6. The other guys have stepped up, especially Stevenson with those 16 points off the bench. Second free throw missed short by Pringle. It goes back to Clemson under 8 minutes left. Girard, bounce pass over to Hunter. Both of the guys have only 7 points each tonight. Girard makes it 10 as he lets it rain straight away. That's a big 3 as he splashes down the triple. Corner 3, Alabama. Right back they deliver. Rylan Griffin, 5 seconds later, connects in a 3 ball. Clemson forgot how fast Alabama's offense is, and they forgot to defend the corner 3, and that's been the most lethal part of Alabama's game tonight. Has been the corner 3, catching fire, splash. Joe Girard, back-to-back threes in a 30-second clip for Clemson. That's what you need. During the last time out, he said they'd been shooting the ball poorly, 2 for 16 from 3. All of a sudden, they're back-to-back with Gerard. They're 4 for 18. Oh my goodness, they're letting it rain. Corner 3 by Jaron Stevenson. He's been amazing tonight in this game. 65-59, 19 from the bench by Stevenson, a first-year who is averaging 5 points per game. Holy smokes, he's almost tripling what he's got this season. That's a career high, by the way, for Stevenson right now. 6:45 remaining. Hunter dribbles up to the elbow. Hunter, 10 on the shot clock, outside to Shefflin. Hand off back to Hunter. Top of the key, Shefflin tries a 3. Off the back rim, no good. A rebound pulled down by Estrada. Up the floor for Alabama here. Passes left corner. Up fake. Griffin. Baseline dribble. Outside to the top. Sears from the parking lot jumper. Oh, he hits it. Bang, bang. Sears from the parking lot looking like Sorrentine at the DCU Center. 68-59 in the timeout taken on the floor by Clemson. Oh, my goodness. 30-foot pull-up from Steph Curry range from Mark Sears just a moment ago. We take a look at this replay. Rylan Griffin, the kick out to the edge of the logo. Mark Sears, the catch and fire J pull-up from the March Madness NCAA edge of the logo. Drained it. What a shot. Took him a while to get settled into the game, but he just made his 5th 3. They pile on points in a hurry, don't they? 6:12 remaining. Alabama, they play their best basketball in the final 10 minutes. Like, in the final 5 minutes, if you're not up. If you're not up by 5 points in the final 5 minutes, watch out, because they know how to close the gap. That's, like, there's been so many games this year. They've been down early. They've been down by, like, 12 points, 15 points. They swing that into a 12 or a 15-point win. It's a 30-point swing that Alabama's had at times this season. They just find their stroke when the game comes down to when they need it best. They find their stroke when it comes down to the final 10 minutes. 68-59. What a time to play defense, too, for Alabama. Like, they've been allowing over 81 points per game in the regular season. Come into the tournament, and they start defending, too. And we already know what they're capable of. They're capable of putting up 90 in most games. They had 13 points with 8 minutes left to go before half. And here we are, 6:12 remaining. They've surpassed Clemson. So they're up by 9. This is a 22-point swing in this game. It's crazy. They were down 26-13. This is a 22-point swing, and now they lead 68-59. Insane. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure to keep on coming back for future live streams here on the channel. And join in tomorrow. I'll be back for the 2 Elite 8 games if you guys would like to see. Purdue against Tennessee, and then we'll have NC State against Duke. Whoever wins this one will take on UConn. Alabama, if they can close it out, is 6 minutes and 12 seconds away from doing so. Clemson in a lot of trouble right now. P.J. Hall with 4 personal fouls. 3 fouls by Jack Clark. Foul trouble has given them a lot of issues, and the inability to make a 3 has haunted them in this game here. And Mark Sears stepping up in a big way. 17 points behind Stevenson with 19. Peace and light, welcome back in. Thanks for stopping in. Best of luck to Tennessee tomorrow, and I'll be back on that one. I'm planning to cover Tennessee tomorrow afternoon. If Alabama was to beat UConn, Alabama needs to go like something like they need to drill 23s in that game at least to win. Like, you're looking at 20 plus 3-point shots to beat UConn. They've made 14 tonight. P.J. Hall, wide open 3, buries it. Back from the timeout. 68-61. That's a huge shot for Clemson as we're down to 6 minutes left. Alabama's going to slow down tempo here. Sears at the left wing, guarded by Chase Hunter. 15 in the shot clock for Sears. Moves it out on top. Estrada over to Griffin. 10 in the shot clock. Moves it off to Stevenson. Backs his way. He's got a career-high 19. Sears, 5 in the shot clock. Sears, jab step towards his right. 2 in the shot clock. Sears forces up a tough shot. No good. That's an air ball. Shot clock violation. He was going towards his right, and he was clamped by Ian Shefflin with great defense there for Clemson to provide the stop. So Clemson with an opportunity now because Alabama has started to slow down the basketball. Clemson's defense has got set. Quick correction. That's now 68-62. Yeah, quick correction. That was a 3 before. 59 up to 62. So quick correction right there. It's a 6-point game. 5:20 left to go. Up fake at the top. Dribbling it up. Driving downhill is Hall. No good. Missed the layup. Offensive rebound. And on the hardwood it was Shefflin. And that's going to be an Alabama foul picked up on a loose ball charge to Pringle. So this is going to be bonus time coming up at the free throw line here. 1-1 for Ian Shefflin. Yep, Nick Pringle tried to go up for the rebound, and it was Shefflin who came down with it, and Pringle knocked down Shefflin. So this will send Shefflin to the bonus. 1-1 at the free throw line. 5:14 left to go. Pressure free throws right now for Clemson. First shot, no good, missed off the back rim. I thought they were top 10 in the country in free throw shooting. Certainly not looking like it tonight for Clemson. Sears, quarter 3. Oh, he buries it. Laser beam from downtown by Mark Sears. 71-62. He's come alive here in the second half. 15 threes allowed tonight by Clemson's defense. That's the most tied for this season, along with a game against Georgia Tech back on January 16th. The lob goes to the low block. Shefflin lowers the shoulder. That's going to be a blocking foul. Picked up charge to Alabama and won by Shefflin. Got the bucket. So waiting to see if that was a charge. Wow. Shefflin lowered the boom right into Rylan Griffin. Griffin tried to take the charge right there, but didn't set his feet according to the officials, as Shefflin got an and one. 75% free throw shooter. Just bricked the last one on a 1-1, and he just bricked this one. Oh my goodness, what has happened to Clemson here at the free throw line? 9th in the country, shooting 78%. They're just 2 for 8 this half on free throws. Clemson has missed 6 free throws. They're 7 for 13 at the line tonight. That's a difference between a 1-point game and a 7-point game here currently. Clemson is selling poorly at the free throw line. 5 in the shot clock. Sears gets the give and go. Baseline dribble to the cup. Sears goes up. Lost it. Into the hands of Strada. Float to the rudder. Halfway down. No good. Tipped off the glass. Battle for the rebound. Nick Pringle out of the pack. Gets fouled going up right there as he was triple teamed by a sea of orange jerseys. And Pringle with a huge offensive rebound. Going up. Gets fouled as he'll shoot 2 coming up in the free throw line. 4:05 left to go. That's a major offensive rebound by Pringle. Tipped off the glass. 3 orange jerseys around him. Boom. Going up, gets fouled. Only a 54% free throw shooter this season by Pringle. These are massive free throws here. We'll see if he can show Shefflin how it's done. First free throw, Pringle. He hits it. Pressure free throw basketball. Alabama knows how to play in pressure situations. Clemson right now is cracking under pressure. They had a 26-13 lead. They have blown that right away. 13-point lead has got swallowed up, and it's become a 21-point swing. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. Pringle, second free throw, and he drills it. A 50% free throw shooter, just over that mark, and he buries both of the free throws, whereas Shefflin has been great throughout the regular season, missing the previous 2 though in a March game in the Elite 8. Bounce past Gerard. You got to go if you're Clemson. Under 4 minutes remaining. Hall's got 4 fouls, still playing. Top of the key to the outside. Here's a 3. Hunter delivers. Chase Hunter, big time triple from the perimeter. 73-67. That's only their 6th made 3 of the game. Hunter's got 10 now for Clemson. Alabama slows down the tempo. Mark Sears, the walking bucket, he's got 20. Sears at the top of the key, takes the three, off the rim, no good, tipped, and it goes in. +1 coming up in the free throw line. Guess who? It is Nick Pringle. Nick Pringle imposing his will down low, cleans up the glass, taps it in, and he got fouled from behind. Pringle with an and one coming up. We're going to take the media timeout on the floor. 3:25 left to go. 75-67 Alabama. Nick Pringle, legendary in this game on the glass just a moment ago. You the legend, Jay Ramirez with a dono. Thanks so much, man. Let's get that dono hit for Jay Ramirez. Absolute legend on the channel. You guys are awesome. M Stove, welcome in. First timers here on the stream. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure to smash the thumbs up. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams here. I cover college hoops, play-by-play, NBA play-by-play here on the channel. And let's keep on going tonight. Get this stream as big as possible here. Spread the word around to everybody you know out there. We just reached 25,000 subscribers last week with that Texas A&M versus Houston stream. Mark Sears, 20 points. The first 10 minutes he had not scored a bucket. They were down 26-13. Mark Sears, in the second half, just taking over this game. 6 made threes by Sears, piles some points in a hurry. Top 12 score in the nation. And right now, Alabama leads by 8, chance to lead by 9 if Pringle makes the free throw coming up after the timeout. For Clemson, they've missed 6 free throws. I mean, that's the difference right now between a one-possession game. They're a top 10 free throw shooting team in the country, and pressure free throws tonight really struggling. Ian Shefflin, he's the top scorer for Clemson with 15. Just 3 for 7, though, at the free throw line. Double-double, 15 and 10 for points and rebounds by Clemson. 14 by Hall. Hall, oh, that was on him. I hadn't even mentioned P.J. Hall has just fouled out, so that was on him. It wasn't on his teammate from the side. Hall was behind Pringle, who got the tap, and Hall has just fouled out. That was his 5th. So the box score just updated. That was on Hall. He picks up his 5th. He is done for the game. Finishes with 14 points, just 4 rebounds, 5 turnovers, and 5 personal fouls. So, yeah, really not looking good for Clemson right now. If you're playing Alabama, you have to be up by at least 5 with 5 minutes left to go in order to win the game. Alabama plays their best basketball in the final 5 minutes. They know how to win crunch time games for Alabama. They find their threes at the end of the game. It's been taking them a little while to be able to put points on the board, but I mean, they've been down both games, back-to-back games, double digits. They were trailing 19-9 against UNC, came back and won. They were down here 26-13 and looking really likely right now. So 75-67. And Nick Pringle will shoot 1 coming up at the line. Taking a look at the replay here. Boxing out. P.J. Hall trying to box out Pringle. Pringle was able to get position, and yeah, that was on the Hall. The grab of the jersey out in front as P.J. Hall is done, just fouled out, picked up his 5th. So that is massive indeed. TSA in the stream, welcome in. P.J. Hall has just fouled out. The free throw by Pringle, it is good. A 57% free throw shooter, and he's made 3 in a row in the last 3 minutes. Clemson down by 9. Alabama looking for their first ever Final Four appearance in program history. So is Clemson, but Clemson would have to basically make every single bucket and provide every single stop from here on out. They have Gerard open at the corner. Now he's covered. 14 in the shot clock. A lot of dribbling here by Clemson. Chase Hunter. Bounce pass goes to Shefflin inside the low post. Shefflin goes up. Shefflin got it, a drop in the and 1 coming up. Massive bucket. Ian Shefflin able to cash it in inside the low post, and can he make a free throw? That is the question. Shefflin just 3 for 7 tonight at the free throw line with a major pressure free throw upcoming. Up to now 18 points and 10 rebounds. 1 shot coming up. It's on Pringle on the foul. Alabama with 4 personal fouls by Nelson. Pringle just picked up his 3rd. Shefflin just made a free throw. 76-70 as we're down to 3 minutes left. Pringle with 3 fouls. Nelson has 4. Sears will slow down the ball. Alabama leads by 6. Right down the home stretch of this game. Top of the key, Mark Sears. He is 6 for 13 from the perimeter. Out to the wing over to Nelson. Backs his way. Nelson bouncing bodies, working on Hunter. Lobs it up over the top, and Pringle gets fouled. That's on Shefflin underneath on the personal foul, and Nick Pringle will shoot 2 more here at the free throw line. And both teams from here on out after the next Clemson foul will be in the bonus. 2:40 left to play. Nick Pringle at the free throw line, 7 for 10 this game. First free throw, no good. Bricked it off the back rim. What a battle between these two teams. Almost 500 on the stream. If you enjoy the content, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you'd like to be notified for future live streams here. I cover play-by-play of basketball action, college hoops, NBA in the channel. Type it in the chat who you guys want to win this one. Type in Alabama, Clemson, Roll Tide, RTR, elephant emoji, tiger emoji. Make sure to type it in. Both of the free throws are no good. Pringle just missed the second. Clemson, chance to pull it, win in 4 with a 2. Chance to pull, win in 3 with a 3. Shefflin, hand off. Hunter, top of the key. Bounce past Shefflin. They back their way. Low post. Shefflin bouncing bodies. Outside to the top. Gerard, 8 in the shot clock. Gerard towards his left. Takes the 3. Oh, he hits it. Gerard representing Glens Falls, NY up in upstate. Delivers in the 3 ball. 76-73. 2 minutes left to play. Mark Sears slows it down. Clemson still hanging in right now. Estrada at the top of the key. Moves it over to Rylan Griffin. 12 in the shot clock. Fires the pass down low. Underneath. And the bucket's good. And 1 coming up in the free throw line by Nick Pringle. Huge pass right there by Estrada on an absolute dime. Straight line over to Pringle. 1 shot coming up in the line for Pringle. What a game. Pringle powers his way over a double team. Hunter and Shefflin in the process covering Pringle. No answer. It's picked up by Chase Hunter on the foul. That is his second. 1 shot here by Pringle. It's good. Right down the middle. 79-73 Alabama. 6-point lead once again. Nick Pringle coming in huge in the last 10 minutes. He has now got 16 points and 11 rebounds. Couple of those being and ones. Clemson on the hardwood with a basketball. We get a timeout taken on the floor by Clemson there. That was very close to being a tie-up. 6-point game. Clemson was able to burn a timeout just in time to get just 1 timeout remaining. Alabama has 3 timeouts left in their pocket. 1:43 left to go as we take the timeouts. No answer down low for Nick Pringle. He has been a monster in the offensive glass tonight. 6 offensive rebounds. He's got more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. 11 rebounds total. 6 of those are offensive boards. 5 of those are defensive rebounds. 16 points, 11 rebounds by Pringle. 20 points by Mark Sears. 13 by Rylan Griffin. Off the bench, Jaron Stevenson's been excellent. 19 a career high, making 5 threes. Clemson is left him wide open, daring him to shoot the 3 from the corner. He's delivered tonight for Jaron Stevenson. Ian Shefflin leads the way for Clemson. 18 points, 11 rebounds. 16 by Joe Girard, just made his 4th 3 of the game. 14 by PJ Hall, 10 by Chase Hunter, 10 off the bench by RJ Godfrey. What a battle. Winner will face UConn next Saturday in the Final Four. Clemson came into this game as the number 9 team in the country, shooting over 78% at the free throw line. Tonight, just 8 for 14 on free throws. They missed 6 free throws. What's the deficit? They're trailing by 6. 79-73. We look back at this game, we see those critical missed free throws and pressure situations. Specifically, Ian Shefflin, for the most part. That's the difference maker in the game between a tie game and the game that Clemson is down by 6. Ian Shefflin just 50% at the free throw line, 4 for 8 tonight. PJ Hall just 1 for 3 at the free throw line. Those are where the 6 misses have come from. Here we go. Back to action. 1:40 left to go. Clemson down low. They sneak their way in. They get the bucket with a left hand. Jack Clark able to sneak his way up and under, scoring the layup. 4-point game. Alabama's going to slow it down, crossing midcourt. 5 lead changes in the tie tonight. Clemson led by 13. At one point early on, they were up 26-13. Alabama went into halftime with all the momentum, knowing a 22-6 run. Sears, step back 3 for the dagger. Oh, he hits it. Bang, bang. Right down the chute, delivers in a triple. Mark Sears, he is a walking bucket. 23 in the board. 7th main 3 tonight for Sears. 82-75 Alabama. Down to the final minutes. Left to go, just over the mark. I'll start it once we get to a minute. Top of the key, Shefflin. His pass deflected, broken up. Hunter able to get it. And now we're down to the final minute. Down by 7. Here's a deep range 3. 28-foot pull-up. No good. Missed off the mark by Hunter. Battle for the rebound underneath. Clemson has it, and they power their way and scored a bucket. R.J. Godfrey gets it off the putback for 2. 5-point game. 82-77. Alabama slows it down. 21-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Alabama looking for another dagger here with Sears. That one probably did it. Oh, they give it away. It's a big U. It's a turnover committed by Alabama. Miscommunication between Sears and Pringle on a give and go. Sears was going to go to the rim and Pringle passed it all the way back to the midcourt logo and he turned it over. That's a big U. Clemson with sides of life right now in this game. 82-77. What are you doing right there? Just missed the mark wide. And Nick Pringle. What a terrible bounce pass right there. Come on, man. And he committed a foul too. So Clemson will head to the free throw line. Alabama committed a foul in transition. Jack Clark at the free throw line, and he missed it. 2-shot free throw here at the line. Jack Clark just missed the first free throw. Clemson, a top 10 free throw shooting team, has cracked severely under pressure tonight in this game, breaking free throws. Second shot by Jack Clark at the free throw line. 82-77. No good. He missed the second one. Skipped around the rim and out. I mean, if you can't shoot free throws, that's a big, big yikes. Free throws, free throws, free throws. You're looking like you're a bottom 10 team in the country in this one. Holy smokes. Godfrey just fouled, picked up his 4th. 35 seconds left. This stage looking like it's too big for Clemson. Aaron Estrada at the free throw line. He proves that you can make free throws. First one is good. That's the difference in this game. Clemson has missed 8 free throws, 8 for 16 at the line. This stage just looking too big right now in a lone standalone game on national TV on a Saturday night in prime time as the clock just past 11 p.m. on the East Coast. Just looks way too big. This stage for the Clemson Tigers. The dunk is good. 84-78 right now. Free throw before that was good. And we have a timeout taken on the floor as Clemson will burn their last. 30 seconds left to play. 30 seconds remaining and yeah, Clemson got 2 generous teams in the bracket that you couldn't really trust. Baylor, couldn't really trust Baylor this season. They could not make their free throws. And they had a lot of young guys in that team. They were super inexperienced for Baylor. And then Arizona, I mean, you knew at a time that Arizona would lose. The question was to just who, because they had losses this year against Oregon State, Stanford, and USC. They lost by 13 points to USC. And you would know that it was going to happen well before the Final Four, Arizona to lose. I could tell you that. And it was just the question, who was it going to be for Arizona right there? It ended up being in the hands of Clemson right there. Just an automatic dumpster fire of a coaching job and a game plan done by Tommy Lloyd in that game for Arizona. They always falter every single March. But here we are, 84-79. This stage is looking super bright right now for Clemson. Again, in a draw of the previous two teams that they had very favorable matchups, more so in the brackets. Alabama's going to burn a timeout as they didn't have anybody open on the inbound right there. 30 seconds left to go. So take the timeout on the floor. Alabama's got 2 timeouts remaining in their pockets. 84-79. Just couldn't execute tonight at the free throw line. That's crushing for Clemson there. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you like to be notified for future live streams on the channel. We've got a monster stream here with over 600 plus watching. You guys, the real legends in the stream here. Incredible. Keep on coming back to future live streams. Just don't come back to one specific live stream. Just keep on coming back, supporting the channel. I'll be back tomorrow covering both of the Elite 8 games, covering Purdue versus Tennessee, and then Duke against NC State. So feel free to keep on coming back, supporting the channel in the future. Alabama, if they can close it out, they're going to take on UConn. Alabama gets the inbound. Clemson immediately follows with 29.5 seconds. So free throws coming up. 2 shots now in the double bonus for Alabama. This will be Grant Nelson. He'll be shooting 2. Double bonus. Clemson committed their 10th. Yep, Bama was a 1 seed last year. They lost to San Diego State in the Sweet 16. That was a big shocker last season. First one is good by Nelson. Southern Reflections, really appreciative for finding the channel. Randy in the stream, welcome in. James, you guys the legends here in the stream. Second free throw coming up by Nelson. Clemson just 8 for 16 at the free throw line. Alabama second free throw. They're 20% points higher. They are now 14 for 20 at the free throw line as Nelson buries the second one. Clemson down to 29 seconds. They got to go. They got to go. Hunter got it stripped. Loose ball. Got it back there with the elbow. Outside Girard. A 29-foot pull-up. Missed off the mark. No good. Shoved off the front rim. Defensive rebound. Pulled in by Estrada. And Estrada gets fouled. And he'll have 2 shots coming up here as Alabama with their crowd going wild. Their bench erupting. That's a huge defensive rebound. And they're 16.9 seconds away from taking on UConn in the Final Four. First Final Four ever in program history. Blue-collar basketball for the Crimson Tide, for the Roll Tide. 85.5% this season at the free throw line. Most of these guys are transfers they brought in the offseason. Estrada, Nelson, coming in March together and surging at the best moment of the season for this Alabama squad. First one was missed at the line by Estrada. A resilient team. They were down 26-13 at that point. A lot of people on the stream said Alabama is done with a 26-13 game with 8 minutes left to go in the first half. You got 32 minutes remaining. What are you doing? Air ball that was a missed 3 by Clemson, actually. It hit the top of the backboard, settled all the way to the bottom of the shot clock. It goes out of bounds. 11 seconds left. A lot of people counted out Alabama in the first 12 minutes of action. I mean, we still got a full game to be played. They were down by 13. They swing it to a 21-point advantage right now. You got to play the full game. I've seen crazy things happen. Saw my Celtics blow a 30-point lead this past week against the Hawks. Crazy things happen. Guys play hard for the first, 5-10 minutes, then maybe the team will falter and play soft. You never know. And right now, Alabama just poured it up 100 gazillion notches further in this game. Clemson just forced a turnover on their knee. 5 seconds remaining. They'll take a 3. Girard splashes it. 4.3 Alabama inbound full court outlet as they will go right to the rim with 1.9 seconds left to go. Cash it in with a layup. They hit a free throw prior to that. We go final 89-82. Gerard added in a late three, and then at the buzzer right before the Strada laid up the full court outlet. This game has gone final. Alabama moving on to the Final Four, the first time ever in program history. The Roll Tide win it tonight. 89-82, the final score over Clemson. What a game. Mark Sears, big time in the second half. Finished with 7 made threes tonight for Mark Sears. We'll go over the top scores here in just a moment, as Alabama's going to take on UConn next Saturday over in Phoenix, Arizona in the Final Four. I'll be back tomorrow covering Purdue versus Tennessee at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Duke against NC State tomorrow late afternoon at 5:05 p.m. Eastern Time. If you'd like to come back in, feel free to do so. Mark Sears, top scorer in the game, finished with 23 at 1 point. He was held scoreless in the first 12 minutes. Doesn't matter. He scores buckets in bunches. He piles them into bunches, stacks buckets upon buckets, and major buckets in the final 25 minutes of this game from Mark Sears. Finishes past the season average with 23 tonight. Alabama just poured 89 points on a top 5 defense and defensive efficiency through the first 3 games of the NCAA tournament with Clemson. Clemson completely turned it around with their defense in this NCAA tournament in games against New Mexico, Baylor, and Arizona. But tonight they surrender 89 to Alabama. Sears with 7 threes with 23. Major off the bench. Jaron Stevenson was huge. He had 19, a career high for a freshman, making 5 threes, 7 for 11 from the floor. Clemson did a poor job defensively in a game plan against Jaron Stevenson. They left him completely wide open from the corner, and he made the Tigers' defense pay tonight. Jaron Stevenson from three-point range is a 29% three-point shooter this season, but it's March. It's not November when you're leaving shooters wide open and they're bricking shots in the first week of the season. This is March. This is the Elite Eight. This is the NCAA tournament. We are in the final days in the month before April with championship Final Four basketball in Clemson, and an Elite Eight game in the last game of March allows Stevenson to wide open corner threes. Just a horrific game plan right there by head coach Brad Brownell for Clemson to do that, because I mean, any dude, if you leave him wide open for the most part, college, NBA, they're a shooter. They're going to make that. It's shooting practice, basically, to them when you got nobody closing out, no hands in the face, and trying to force that to be a miss there. So he was just shooting on practice shots, basically on target range, and drilling those threes from the corner tonight with 19 off the bench. That proved huge for Alabama. 16 and 11 by Nick Pringle. He was massive in the final 10 minutes. They had like a hot hand at different stages of this game tonight for Alabama, where Sears, he started to come alive at the beginning of the second half, and towards the end once again. Nick Pringle really took over. Final 5 minutes left to go for Nick Pringle. 16 and 11 for him. Rylan Griffin had 13 with 6 assists. 7 assists by Aaron Estrada. Just excellent game. They tallied in 20 total assists. What a game. Make sure to ring the notification bell. I'm not entirely sure just yet about next Saturday for the Final Four. I've been working at, so I do a lot of work in person covering sports broadcasts. Next Saturday I have 2 games for baseball, a doubleheader for next weekend. So I'm not sure just yet. And one of my colleges that I broadcast for, I am doing a lot of the sports writing. They gave me a position on Saturdays doing a lot of sports writing stuff for the post-game articles. So that's why I didn't cover UConn in the first game today against Illinois, because I wrapped up around 7:30-ish doing the sports writing stuff. So I'm not sure yet my schedule. I find out like the day before or so. But I have 2 baseball games next Saturday at 12 and 3. The site is around like 40 minutes away. And then I'm not sure if I'll be asked to write up the articles after those games, though, because if I'm asked to write up those articles, then Probably not going to be able to cover the final 4 games if I'm asked to, because it takes like 3 or 4 hours to do so. So I'm not sure until probably next Friday when he'll see if he'll let me know or so. It all depends. And also, if for some reason it rains, I mean, I'd be able to cover it if it rains in my area, because that would push back the game. So there's a lot by ear. But tomorrow I'm free. I'll be back covering the 2 games for the Elite 8 tomorrow. So feel free to drop in if you guys would like for those 2 streams tomorrow. Purdue against Tennessee and then Duke against NC State. But yeah, I'm hoping to cover the 2 final 4 games if my schedule allows me to for availability. It's going to be a crazy week next week because I've been working like 70, 80-hour weeks for me. I have to train a new radio show host next week in my full-time job, and then doing the streaming stuff when I have like free time, basically, when I'm not doing the other gigs and stuff like that on the side. But yeah, you guys, the legends on the channel, we had over 500 plus at one point. Just insane what we had here on the channel here. And yeah, really appreciate it. James, first time you're here. Glad to have you in the stream, being a part here on the channel. And wow, this was the most successful stream we ever had for college, and since the last tournament, I think since the Kansas State FAU stream last year. What was that? The Elite 8? That had some monster viewers on that one. That game went to the wire. This one was a little bit more of an Alabama lead down to the wire, but Clemson kept on hanging in, and Alabama wins by 7. 89-82 the final score. Thanks so much all for joining in on the stream, and we'll wrap up to the channel members before I close off tonight. All channel members get a shout out here each and every single one of my live streams. Jason, we got Jason, Ward, Rajib, I Am Ghost, David, Russell, John, Mark, Kelly, Jeffrey, Vegas, Oink Oink, Michael, Katie, Bradley, Daniel, Derek, Sisters Surround, Mario, Guido, Tristan, SG Sports Talk, Ice Ice Baby, Robin, Melinda, and Jack City. Thanks all for joining in, being a part of the stream for this one tonight. The Roll Tide keep on rolling. Alabama wins over Clemson. 89-82 the final score. It will set up an Alabama versus UConn matchup in the Final Four. Alabama's first ever Final Four appearance in program history for the Crimson Tide. Thanks for joining in tonight. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you'd like to come on back tomorrow night for the 2 Elite 8 streams, feel free to do so. I plan on being back tomorrow afternoon. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining in, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.